At the beginning of the story, we are taken to Xingye County. At the county, we are shown a pavilion in the Young family manor. We see an elf taking a look at a baby's body. When he was done looking at the boy's body, his father asked him to tell him how the boy is. The elf revealed to the man that it will be hard for his son to live past 20 years old due to his constitution. This man is the patriarch of the Young family. His name is Young Damyung. Damyung asked the elf if his son was given a punishment by the heavens. He explained to him that his son caused his mother's death due to his birth. The elf was annoyed to hear this. He could not believe that Damyung was saying this to a physician like him. He asked the patriarch to tell him why he would say such a thing to his son who is going to die early. Damyung glared at his child when he heard this. He watched him as he played alone. According to the elf, the boy has something similar to the 9 severed meridians. The elf had never seen anyone with their Baihui acupoint open to such an extreme. Damyung asked the elf if the Baihui acupoint is the acupoint on top of the head. The physician told him that he is correct. He explained to the patriarch that a person will die if their Baihui acupoint is too open. Most people call this the deity ascension. Damyung reminded the elf that deity ascension is something very powerful Taoists do when they depart for the heavenly realm. The physician was surprised to hear this. He asked the patriarch if he truly believes in such nonsense. He placed his hand on his head and asked the man if he has heard about absolute martial masters using the upper meridians of their heads. The masters are actually using the Baihui acupoint. According to the elf, the so-called deity ascension is when someone gets too drunk on the energy of the great nature that came from the heavens and earth and dies because they cannot withstand it. Damyung stood up after he heard this. He turned to the elf and told him that he was correct about his son receiving a punishment from the heavens. The physician was shocked to hear this. He asked the man to tell him why he would call himself a father. The patriarch told the elf that it is now time for him to leave. He assured him that the chief steward will give him his pay. The elf told the man that he does not need the pay. He stood up and left the pavilion out of anger. As he walked away, the elf wondered how our protagonist's life could have been different if he was born in a different place. If the boy was born in the demonic cult, he could have become the heavenly demon. If he had grown up in the Shaolin Temple, he would have been able to use the 72 elite training methods of the temple 2 times over. Unfortunately for the boy, he was born as a hated child in this place. The physician believed that the boy will die in the countryside at a young age with no way of surviving. The only chance this baby has is for him to achieve enlightenment on his own. Decades later, we see a group of people having a family meeting at the Young Manor. Damyung stood up and told everyone that his deceased father founded their clan. According to him, his father was a disciple of the Zhongnan sect. His name is Xianjiamja. Damyung told the people that he has dedicated his life to the revival of their clan. He explained to them that he could not close down their clan because if they become famous throughout the world, he will inherit the ultimate technique of the Zhongnan sect. The patriarch told his family that he is very happy that one of his sons followed in his father's footsteps and managed to join the Zhongnan sect. With a smile on their faces, the other family members congratulated their brother on his achievement. The eldest child told his brother that he is quite incredible to be able to join the sect. Damyung asked his children to raise their cups with him. While everyone was enjoying themselves, the eldest sibling noticed that someone was missing. He turned to his father and told him that Yinshin is not there. Damyung's expression became serious when he heard this. He revealed to his son that he asked Yinshin to stay on the training ground. The man was shocked to hear this. Damyung told his son that it is better for our boy to not be there on such a joyous occasion. He told him that Yinshin would bring them bad luck. The man could not believe that his father actually said this. The scene shifts and we see our boy gathering his energy on the training ground. He carefully circulated his energy throughout his body. Immediately he did this. He opened his eyes and released his energy. After he was done, Yinshin took a look at his palm. He realized that he had now completely mastered the Young clan's movement art. With this movement art, Yinshin can stimulate his muscles with energy and then compress it. He realized that his body could no longer get stronger than this. Yinshin wondered if he will have a longer lifespan now that he has a stronger body. While thinking, our boy remembered his brother's reaction when he told him that he created a martial arts technique. Yinshin explained to his brother that he did not create the technique from scratch. Instead, he redeveloped their clan's exclusive martial arts. The man let out a sigh when he heard this. He asked his younger brother to not be offended with what he wants to say. He asked Yinshin to not tell anyone about what he has done. Our boy was surprised to hear this. The scene shifts and we see Yinshin telling his brother to use the martial arts he created. The boy was annoyed to hear this. He asked Yinshin if he will take responsibility if he experiences energy deviation and dies. Our boy felt bad when he heard this. When he informed his father about what he had done, the man scolded him for messing with their clan's exclusive martial arts. He asked his son if he believes that he is the clan's founder. Yinshin could not believe that his own father simply dismissed him. While sitting on a chair, our boy thinks about what it means to be a clan founder. A clan founder is someone who creates martial arts and the founder of a martial group. Our boy never believed that he was someone that was so great. He did not think it was incredible to create a martial arts. He simply wanted to become healthy and live with everyone. While he was thinking, Yinshin sees some servants rushing somewhere. He wondered about where they were going. He quickly remembered that today was the day the martial masters of the Zhongnan sect will arrive. The Zhongnan sect is one of the 9 great sects. They are one of the twin walls that are known as the strongest groups in Shaanxi alongside the Manhwa sect. Yinshin remembered that the Zhongnan sect is a place where the sword deities reside. Our boy also wanted to meet the martial masters too. The moment he thought of this, he remembered what the chief steward said to him. Yinshin asked the man if the reason he can't show his face to the clan's important guests is because he caused his mother's death. The steward informed our boy that the order came from his father. Yinshin asked the man if he is certain. The steward apologized to our boy. Yinshin could not still believe that his father gave out such an order. He decided to follow the servants and watch from afar. He was certain that he will be able to learn something from the skilled masters. At the entrance of the manor, the servants wondered about who was coming to meet them. They were certain that the Sky Sword Dragon would not come. They believed that an elder might come to the manor. One of the servants said that it will be a blessing for their clan if an elder comes there. While the servants were talking, Damyung and his family stepped outside. Immediately they did this. Someone screamed that the martial masters have arrived. Immediately the person said this. We see an elf and 2 other men enter the compound. The members of the clan and Damyung's children were shocked to see the elf. One of the servants referred to the elf as a noble race. Yinshin was also shocked to see the elf. The noble race are known to be a mysterious race that can live on forever. Humans think of them as deities. Our boy and his family noticed the unique energy the elf was exuding. Yinshin noticed that the core energy condensed in her body is being exuded by her naturally. Damyung quickly regained his composure and welcomed the elf to his clan. He told her that he is honored that she would visit their clan. He and his son bowed their heads to greet the martial masters. He told them that he is the patriarch of the clan. The woman thanked the man for his hospitality. She introduced herself as Yeo Il Shin. She revealed to Damyung that she is an elder of the Zhongnan sect. Damyung was shocked to hear this. He could not believe that the woman is a noble race elder of the Zhongnan sect. He immediately begged Il Shin to forgive him for not recognizing her as a deity. The woman asked the patriarch to raise his head. She told him that she did not come to boast of her status. Damyung apologized to Il Shin for his disrespect. He could not believe that he kept the sword deities of the Zhongnan sect waiting outside. He asked her to follow him in. Yinshin was surprised to hear that the woman was an elder when she was already from the noble race. He wondered about how long Il Shin had lived for. While walking, Il Shin turns her head and sights our boy. The 2 of them lock eyes. Yinshin immediately bowed his head when he saw this. Damyung noticed that the woman was looking at his son. He told her that Yinshin is his 3rd son. Our boy turned around and walked away after he saw the woman. The elf told Damyung that his son's eyes are bright. She said that our boy looks really smart, with a nervous look on his face. The patriarch explained to Il Shin that his son is not well-mannered. The elf was shocked to hear this. While watching his son walk forward, Damyung informed the woman that Yinshin is actually the troublemaker of their family. When our boy returned to the training ground, he picked up his sword. Yinshin had gained a new perspective after seeing the energies of the martial masters. Our boy was actually stuck after he was done practicing the young clan's movement art. He was wondering about what he should train in next. He opened his sword and carefully inspected it. He decided to try training his sword. The scene shifts and we are taken to the room of the martial masters. The other 2 masters told the elder that the place is better than they expected. They explained to the elf that the Tyrant Sword Tribe will definitely want a place that has this much earth energy. Il Shin told the men that they are right. She told them that they need to think of a way to counterattack. Unfortunately, the plan will result in the sacrifice of the clan. The taller man asked the elder if they cannot just attack and destroy their enemies before they cross the wall. The elder took a sip of her tea. She believed that the idea was not bad. She explained to the man that the 13 skies are the most problematic bunch. She asked the men to never let their guards down and to keep their sword auras sharp. While thinking, Il Shin noticed that she kept thinking about Yin Shin. She was certain that Yin Shin stood out from everyone. She found our boy to be a strange child. At night, we see Yin Shin meditating and circulating his energy. Our boy noticed something strange. He noticed that his Baihui acupoint was quite opened. Although he wasn't able to meditate for a year because he was busy training his body with the Young Clan's movement art, the amount of energy that went through his head has gotten even greater. Yin Shin realized that he has less than 5 years before he loses consciousness. If this happens, our boy will end up dying. Yin Shin quickly opened his eyes. He could not believe that he had only 5 years left to live. Our boy was scared to see this. He stepped out of his room and looked at the moon in the sky. He could not believe that he was not able to change his fate even after he learnt the Young Clan's movement art. While thinking, Yin Shin sensed something. He quickly turned to the side. He could sense an ominous energy coming from the main building. Our boy quickly grabbed his sword and ran to the building. As he got closer, Yin Shin became certain that something was wrong. The scent of blood got stronger the closer he got to the building. The building was also too quiet. While running, Yin Shin saw a portal at the entrance of the building. Our boy quickly ran through the portal. He realized that someone set a trap formation. When he arrived into the main building, Yin Shin saw something shocking. He saw the dead bodies of the servants and the guards lying on the ground. Our boy could not believe that he just noticed that something was happening in the manor. He realized that this might have happened because of the trap formation. While looking around, Yin Shin realized that everyone on the ground was part of his clan. He wondered if the culprit possessed an overwhelming martial prowess. While he was looking at the bodies, someone asked him about why he is still alive. When Yin Shin looked up, he saw some men carrying the dead bodies of the servants. A huge bald man walked up to him. With a scary look on his face, the man told our boy that he should have hidden if he managed to survive. One of the man's colleagues asked him to send Yin Shin to the afterlife. Yin Shin glared at the man when he heard this. The bald man asked our boy to not blame him. He told him that he is simply following orders. He gathered his energy in his hand and rushed to attack Yin Shin. Our boy grabbed the man's wrist and used his hand to crush it. The bald man screamed out in pain. He fell to the ground and began to tremble. The man's colleagues were shocked to see what our boy did to his hand. They quickly grabbed their swords. The man who asked the bald man to kill Yin Shin asked him for his identity. Our boy released his energy and raised his sword. With a serious look on his face, he told the man that he is the third son of the clan. The moment Yin Shin stepped forward, the bald man stood up. He called our boy a bastard. He gathered his energy and got ready to attack. Before he could take a step, Yin Shin used his sword to cut off his head at a crazy speed. The bald man did not know what happened. All he knew was that he could no longer clearly see our boy. Yin Shin rushed to attack the other men. The men were startled when they saw this. Our boy got close to them and used a technique known as scripture origin ability to cut off the head of the man closest to him. Before the other man next to him could react, Yin Shin tore his body apart. The other two men were terrified to see our boy coming towards them. Before they could even attack, Yin Shin cut off the wrist of one of the men and beheaded the other man. Immediately he did this, he turned around and stabbed the man whose wrist he cut in the chest. The man screamed out in pain. Yin Shin was annoyed to see this. He pulled out his sword from the man's body. Our boy watched the men as they fell in front of him. He let out a sigh. This was his first time using his delightful sword. Fortunately, Yin Shin was able to understand how it works. While he was looking at his sword, someone commended him on his sword art. Our boy quickly turned to the side. He saw another group of mysterious men. A man wearing a headband tells Yin Shin that the idiots lost because they let their guard down. Although the man said this, he was actually surprised by how good our boy was. He never expected someone so young to be so skilled. He asked Yin Shin if he has trained in the delightful sword his whole life. Our boy asked the man if he is from the Blood Flame cult. The man revealed to him that the men on the ground are the ones from the cult. He explained to him that they are from the Tyrant Sword tribe. Yin Shin was surprised to hear this. He could not believe that the Tyrant Sword tribe and the Blood Flame cult were in the same place. The 13 Skies are said to be the most cruel and powerful group in the Murim. Yin Shin could not believe that the Tyrant Sword tribe and the Blood Flame cult, which are both part of the 13 Skies, were in his manor. He asked the man to tell him the type of business that their two groups have with the manor. The man told our boy that it is not his business. Yin Shin smiled when he heard this. Due to the fact that the man was answering his question instead of attacking him, our boy asked the man if he knows about him. The man was surprised to hear this. He did not understand what Yinshin was talking about. Our boy realized that the man did not understand the question. He decided to simplify the question. He asked the man if he knows that his family is part of the Desolate Fortress, which is the best branch sect in the Murim. He told the man that it will be a pain for him if he kills him, even if he is part of the Tyrant Sword tribe. The moment he said this, someone destroys a huge wall next to them. A person was sent flying from the other side of the wall. The person crashed on the ground. Yinshin was shocked to see the person. He was certain that this man is one of the Zhongnan sect's martial masters. The man spat out some blood when he tried to stand up. Immediately the man did this. Another person was sent flying into our boy's part of the manor. This person turns out to be Il Shin. The elder landed on the ground and used her sword to hold herself. Yinshin could not believe what he was seeing. He knew that the elder is known as the deity of the sword, and yet she was struggling against someone. Our boy wondered about who Il Shin was fighting. Immediately he thought of this. Yinshin sensed something horrifying. The elder raised her head up when she sensed it too. A man flew into the yard. Our boy wondered about who he was looking at. This man had a black robe, black hair, and a golden sword. He was exuding an ominous aura. The man turned his head and glared at Yinshin. Our boy immediately took a stance when he looked into the man's eyes. His head felt light just from the simple eye contact. The man with the headband moved close to the mysterious man and went on his knees. He referred to him as tribe leader. Yinshin was surprised to hear this. The other men also went on their knees. Our boy could not believe that he was looking at the Tyrant Sword tribe leader, the man who reigns over the Tyrant Sword tribe, which is part of the unorthodox 13 skies. The man is a harbinger of disasters in the Jianghu. Yinshin could not comprehend why a man who is equal to the patriarch of one of the 9 great sect would be in a place like this. Our boy looked around. He noticed that Il Shin and the other man were injured. Yinshin realized that everyone there is dead. Our boy took a deep breath. He decided to test himself before he dies. He gathered his energy and rushed to attack. The man in a headband was shocked to see this. He immediately grabbed his sword. Before the man could attack, Yinshin stabbed him in the chest. Il Shin was surprised to see this. Our boy let go of the man and asked the tribe leader if he can even kill him after what he has done. The other tribe members were annoyed to hear this. They quickly pulled out their swords. The tribe leader asked the men to stop. The tribe members were shocked to hear this. The tribe leader told Yinshin that his spirit is better than everyone's spirit combined. The elder was surprised to hear this. His subordinates were shocked to hear this. They did not understand what was happening. The tribe leader told our boy that he will let him live. With a confident look on his face, Yinshin told the man that he simply can't kill him. He took out his sword from the body and pointed it at the tribe leader. He revealed to him that he is the only grandson of the former Divine Sword Squad leader of the Desolate Fortress. Il Shin was shocked to hear this. She was certain that the Divine Sword is the best in the Desolate Fortress. According to the tribe leader, the Desolate Fortress was created by the imperial family in order to prevent any conspiracy by the Murim forces. The man believed that it won't be a good idea to be involved with such a group. The tribe leader explained to Yinshin that he is not letting him live for this reason. He revealed to our boy that he likes him. He explained to him that his temperament and spirit are things that a powerful martial artist needs in the Jianghu. Our boy simply glared at the man. The tribe leader revealed to Yinshin that he would have taken him in as a disciple if he wasn't related to the Desolate Fortress. Everyone was shocked to hear this. The man raised his sword and pushed it into the ground. He told Yinshin that he will give him one day to leave the place. He told our boy and the elder that he does not permit any clan or sects to step foot on the land. After saying this, he turned around and walked forward. The members of the tribe put their sword away and followed their leader. Before leaving the building, the leader informed Yinshin that he will always be open to have a duel with him. He asked him to come find him when he is ready to get revenge. Yinshin glared at the man when he heard this. After saying this, the leader left the building. Our boy kept the image of the leader in his head. He etched it into his mind. In the next scene, we see Yinshin staring at his father's body. He saw his father coughing. He told the man that he is right next to him. Damyung reached out his hand and touched his son. With a shaky tone in his voice, he asked Yinshin to tell him why he is so strong. Our boy explained to his father that he used the Young clan's movement art which he created. Damyung was shocked to hear this. He could not believe that his son created a martial art. He remembered when Yinshin told him that he created a martial art using their clan's technique. At this time, Damyung turned around and asked his son to repeat what he said. With a look of anger on his face, the man asked our boy to tell him what gave him the right to mess with their clan's exclusive martial arts. The patriarch asked our boy if he is referring to the martial arts he told him about. He referred to the martial arts as the sacred art created by their clan. With tears in his eyes, Damyung told his son that he was too stupid and ignorant. He could not believe that his third son improved their clan's martial arts. The patriarch told Yinshin that he has the qualities of a founder. The man could not believe that someone as skilled as Yinshin was his son. The moment he thought of this, he lost consciousness. Our boy held his father's hand tightly. The second son called out to his father. Our boy stood up and turned to the chief steward. He asked him to tell him how Haya is doing. The man assured Yinshin that his niece is safe. He told him that the girl is simply sleeping because her acupoint has been blocked. According to the steward, Haya's acupoint was blocked to knock her out, and then she was hidden so that the killers wouldn't find her. Our boy called out to his elder brother. He asked him to raise Haya in the Zhongnan sect. He explained to him that the little girl has an exceptional affinity with the 5 elements. He assured him that the sect will take her in. The boy asked Yinshin about what he is going to do. Our boy told his elder brother that he will look after himself. The moment he said this, Il-shin comes to look for him. Yinshin asked the woman if she is already leaving. The elder explained to our boy that she needs to report the situation to the Zhongnan sect now that the tyrant sword tribe leader has gotten involved. Il-shin asked Yinshin if he is going to the desolate fortress to meet his mother's family. With a sad look in his eyes, our boy told the elder that she is correct. He revealed to her that he does not have anywhere else he can go to become stronger. Upon hearing this, Il-shin offered to bring Yinshin to the Zhongnan mountain. Our boy thanked the woman for giving him an offer. He told her that he is quite honored. Il-shin revealed to Yinshin that she plans to recommend him as the sect leader's disciple. Our boy and the other 2 men were shocked to hear this. The elder assured Yinshin that it is possible for someone like him. Yinshin knew that the direct disciple of the Zhongnan sect would be able to learn the absolute sacred art. The best part is that the Zhongnan sect leader is one of the few martial artists that is among the top 10 swordsmen in the world. Even though our boy knew this fact, he still declined the offer. He apologized to the elder. Il-shin smiled when she heard this. She told our boy that she simply wanted someone as talented as him. Yinshin asked her to forgive him. The elder assured him that it is fine. She told him that the doors of their sect will always be open for him. The moment he heard this, our boy told the woman that he has a question. Il-shin asked him to share his questions. Yinshin explained to her that he is aware that she is one of the older people among the noble race. With a serious look on his face, our boy asked the woman if she knows a way to get the fruit of the world tree. Il-shin was shocked to hear this. The fruit of the world tree is protected by the desolate fortress leader whom the emperor has acknowledged as the king and a peer. It is said to give eternal life and youth to those who eat it. It is a treasure from the heavens. Yinshin believes that he will be able to add to his short lifespan if he eats this fruit. Il-shin revealed to our boy that she has not lived half of her own lifespan, so she does not have any authority over the world tree. According to the elder, the desolate fortress leader is able to give the fruit to other people. Yinshin told the elder that he has to go to the desolate fortress. Il-shin explained to our boy that the item is not easy to get. She told him that the item is sacred even among the noble races. Yinshin explained to her that he does not know any other way to save himself. He told Il-shin that he will have to become the Divine Sword Squad leader and achieve great feats. The elder bowed her head and assured our boy that she will cheer him on from afar. After saying this, she turned around and told Yinshin that she needs to leave to take the updates to the sect. She referred to the tall man as Cliff Swordsman and the short man as Neutral Spirit Fist. She told our boy that the men will stay to clean up the place. The men put their hand together and accepted the order. After saying this, she left. The scene shifts and we see our boy and his family leaving their manor. Yinshin thanked the 2 men for their help. With a sad look on his face, the Neutral Spirit Fist asked our boy to not thank them. He told him that they also played a big part in the tragedy. Before Yinshin left, his elder brother called out to him. While holding Haya, the man told his little brother that an apology is not enough to console him for everything that has happened to him within the clan. He promised Yinshin that he will be a better older brother the next time they meet. He asked our boy to survive at all cost. Yinshin revealed to his brother that he is not talented. He told him that he has to train like his life depends on it. The man assured our boy that he will do his best. Haya raised her head up to see our boy. She referred to him as uncle. Yinshin asked his elder brother to protect their niece. He turned to the steward and asked him about what he plans to do now. The steward revealed to Yinshin that there are smaller branches of their family all over Nanyang. He told him that he will look after the remaining assets since the bloodline of the family is still alive. Our boy told the man that he is heading to the desolate fortress. He told him that he hopes they can meet from time to time. Yinshin was certain that the chief steward will be of help since he knows martial arts. Before leaving, our boy asked the steward to live a comfortable life. He asked the man to take care of himself. The steward was surprised to hear this. After saying this, Yinshin walked forward. The steward watched as our boy walked away. He could not believe that Yinshin asked him to leave a comfortable life. The man realized that no other descendant of the Jung clan has ever said this to him after he was taken in by the previous patriarch. The man bowed his head at Yinshin. In the next scene, we are taken to Xiangyang. It was a beautiful and vibrant city. Yinshin went into a bar and followed an attendant to the top floor. He placed his bag on the table and looked at the city from the top floor. He was relieved to see that he had finally arrived. While he was looking around, he hears some people talk about how amazing the desolate fortress is. A chubby man tells his friends that people all over the Central Plains gather there with big dreams because of the desolate fortress. According to the man, the owner of the bar told him that he is out of liquor. The man's friend told him that it is really chaotic in restaurants these days. This is because the martial artists who came to take the entrance test are always drunk. Yinshin was shocked to hear that there is an entrance test in the desolate fortress. The moment he thought of this, someone asked him if he is also there to take the entrance test. Our boy quickly raised his head up when he heard this. He saw a martial artist in front of him. The boy's name is Hien Wenchang. Yinshin asked the boy to tell him why he is here. Wenchang apologized to Yinshin for rushing into things. He told him that he was simply fascinated to see a challenger that is younger than him. He introduced himself to our boy and told him that he came from Shaanxi. He called the place a really far place. Our boy also introduced himself to Wenchang. He told him that he is from Xingye County. Wenchang was surprised to hear this. He could not believe that our boy came from somewhere nearby. He told Yinshin that his journey must have been easy. He revealed to our boy that he had to fight the Green Forest bandits and swim against the pirates of the Pirates' Fortress. He told Yinshin that the water martial arts of the pirates was really vicious. Yinshin also faced some bandits when he was traveling. However, our boy easily cut them down. He told Wenchang that his journey was quite easy. The boy looked around to see if there is anyone close to him. He moved close to our boy and told him that they can become friends and share any information about the test with each other. Yinshin asked Wenchang if there is really a test. The boy was shocked to hear this. He raised his voice and told our boy that the test is known as the Desolate Fortress Trial. According to Wenchang, the Desolate Fortress is quite different from the usual martial arts group. Just as those who want to become government officials need to be well-versed in martial arts and literature, there is a test just for joining the Desolate Fortress. Yinshin asked the boy if that is why many people are gathered here. Wenchang explained to our boy that it does not matter if he has any foundations. The moment he joins the organization, opportunities and teachings will be provided to him. Due to this, every martial artist comes to try their luck. There are countless people who have learnt various martial arts just to pass the test. The Desolate Fortress is the strongest martial arts group in the world. It is also a place of martial arts that causes everyone's hearts to race. Most people would say that if you want to take on the world with just one weapon, you need to go to the Desolate Fortress, since the imperial family that rules over the Central Plains would make their move in order to control the martial arts groups. All the elixirs and advanced martial arts gathered from all over the world are waiting in the fortress. Wenchang explained to Yinshin that some people believe that the great sects with traditions are better than the Desolate Fortress. With a smile on his face, the boy said that these people do not know what they are saying. He said that martial arts groups created by commoners can never be stronger than the Desolate Fortress. Our boy took a sip of his drink and told the boy that he understands. Wenchang revealed to Yinshin that most people are not able to pass the test in one try. Yinshin simply told the boy that he understands. Wenchang explained to him that the people that usually pass are the next generation leaders of reputable martial arts clans that are rising in the world and trying to gain fame. With a smile on his face, Wenchang asked our boy if he will take the test with him tomorrow. Without making a single reaction, Yinshin told the boy that he accepts his offer. Wenchang became nervous when he heard this. He did not understand why our boy would not even react to what he has been saying. Wenchang told Yinshin that he is quite easygoing. As he continued talking, our boy stopped listening. Yinshin was happy to hear that he can join the group as long as he can pass the test. He did not want to ask his mother's family for help because he did not know where they live or what they look like. The next day, we see Yinshin and Wenchang walking into the fortress to take their test. The participants were given a tag containing a number. Our boy was given number 13. After accepting his tag, Yinshin looked around. He was in a ring with other participants and 2 examiners. According to Wenchang, the participants will pass the exam if the supervisor accepts their plaque. However, if he tells you to return it to the reception, you will fail. The second exam is a tournament. Our boy asked Wenchang if there is a third exam. The boy told Yinshin that the third exam is an interview with the Lord of the Desolate Fortress. Yinshin was shocked to hear this. He asked his friend if he is certain. There are several martial artists who come to Xiangyang just for this chance. To have a conversation with an absolute master like the Lord is an incredible opportunity. This martial artist hoped to receive some kind of profound understanding. Yinshin told the boy that he understands. Immediately he said this. The supervisor announced that the first exam is about swift sword arts. According to him, the participants are to demonstrate one swing with the fastest technique they have. The supervisor will watch and judge the technique by himself. Wenchang raised his hand and offered to go first. The supervisor accepted his request. The idiot actually volunteered because he was nervous. Yinshin believed that the test was simple since they simply needed to show a fast sword technique to pass. Wenchang took off his robe. The moment he placed his hand on his sword, Yinshin and the people watching the event took a close look at him. Yinshin noticed that Wenchang had a well-polished spirit. He could tell that the boy is strong. He was even stronger than some of the bandits our boy saw on his way here. Wenchang took a stance and released his energy. He took a deep breath and swung his sword. The audience were shocked to see the boy's demonstration. One of them said that the boy feels different. He said that he only saw an apparition. Wenchang stared at the supervisor in fear of his response. The man told him that his technique was not bad. He asked Wenchang to give him his plaque. The boy was happy to hear this. He thanked the man. The supervisor asked the next examinee to step forward. Wenchang walked past Yinshin and wished him good luck. Our boy put himself together and walked forward. The audience were surprised to see this. They never expected such a young kid to actually be an examinee. One of them said that Yinshin has a lot of guts. Wenchang smiled when he heard this. Another man said that Yinshin must be from another province, and he is trying to use this opportunity to show his swordsmanship in front of a martial artist of the Desolate Fortress. This is because a single piece of advice is precious. Yinshin took a stance and placed his hand on his sword. He nodded at the man to tell him that he is ready. The supervisor nodded back at him. He asked Yinshin to begin. The moment he said this, Yinshin took out his sword. No one knew when he swung his sword. All they could feel was the wind pressure. The supervisor was shocked to see this. Every single person in that place was shocked. They did not know what they just experienced. Wenchang's mouth was left open. He did not expect such a young boy to be this skilled. The audience did not even know when our boy swung his sword. As he watched Yinshin put his sword back into his sheath, the supervisor said that the future of the Desolate Fortress has arrived. Everyone was shocked to hear this. The man asked Yinshin to hand over his plaque. He took a careful look at our boy's number. He asked him to be on his way. Yinshin bowed his head and turned around. Our boy picked up his robe and walked out of the ring. Everyone cleared a path for him. Wenchang moved close to Yinshin and asked him if he is the son of a famous family. Our boy asked him if this will change anything. He reminded Wenchang that all that matters in the Desolate Fortress is your martial arts, talent, and effort. Wenchang was surprised to hear this. He asked Yinshin if he really plans to finish the Desolate Fortress trial. With a serious look on his face, our boy told his friend that this is why everyone came here, including him. Wenchang realized that Yinshin was serious. He told him that he is right. He thanked our boy and told him that he needs to go now. Yinshin watched his friend as he walked away. He hoped that his kind and talkative friend will pass the second exam. The scene shifts and we see Yinshin meditating in a room. While circulating his energy, our boy thinks about the fact that the second exam is a tournament where different people will compete with each other with their martial arts. Yinshin recalled that the exam will take place in 3 weeks. He realized that he needed to train more seriously. Our boy decided to train his young clan's movement art, the rapid sword arts, and the scripture of origin ability, which is an amplified chi movement technique. 3 weeks later, we see Yinshin and other participants arrive for their test. The supervisor asked the examinees to wait outside until they are called. The moment he said this, he went into a building. At the entrance of the building, a guard stood to watch everyone. While staring at the logo on the guard's clothes, One of the participants said that he is feeling discouraged. According to the man, the white martial arts outfit signifies an elementary-level martial artist. The man asked the person next to him to tell him why the guard's energy would be so strong. The other man told him that even just wearing the white clothes means that his future is secured. Yinshin also stared at the guard. While he was looking at him, Wenchang called out to him. The man ran to meet our boy. He told him that he has gotten taller. Yinshin smiled when he heard this. He told the man that he also looks better. With a serious look on his face, Wenchang told his friend that he wants him to remember that winning is not the important thing in this exam. He explained to him that it is enough to have only one fight in the 2 rounds. He told him that a single round is enough to catch the eyes of the desolate fortress masters who will be watching. With tears in his eyes, Wenchang told our boy that catching the eyes of the masters is actually the hardest part. The boy was able to say this because he had experienced it before. Yinshin asked his friend if a person can win a match and still fail the exam. The boy told him that he is correct. While biting his nails, Wenchang told our boy that the problem they have is that the supervisors are going to have a higher standards today. Yinshin was surprised to hear this. He asked the boy for the reason. Wenchang revealed to him that the White Qilin is competing in today's tournament. Our boy was shocked to hear this. He asked his friend if he is referring to the White Qilin from the Namgung family. The White Qilin wiped out a notorious group of bandits before he was even 15. He also beheaded the Shrouded Assassin, a sword master of the unorthodox faction. According to Wenchang, there are rumors that the White Qilin defeated all the up and rising fighters at the 8 Great Family Dragon and Phoenix tournament when he was 18. Yinshin was surprised to hear this. He asked his friend to tell him why someone from the Namgung family would join the desolate fortress, especially when it is someone that already has martial dignity and everything else. Wenchang revealed to Yinshin that the White Qilin cannot become the patriarch because he is the child of a concubine. According to the boy, if a person rises to the position of the desolate fortress captain, they are on the same level as one of the patriarch of the 8 great families. In fact, the person will have more power than the patriarchs. This is because the desolate fortress maintains the order of the Jianghu in the center of the central plains. While they were talking, the guard called our boy's name and asked him to step out. Yinshin told Wenchang that he hopes to see him again in the desolate fortress. The boy was shocked to hear this. Immediately he said this. He walked up to the guard. Inside the building, we see a referee and different supervisors staring at Yinshin and his opponent. With a creepy smile on his face, our boy's opponent pulled out his sword. Immediately he did this. The referee asked them to begin the fight. The man began to laugh. Yinshin did not understand why he was laughing. With a disgusting look on his face, the man referred to our boy as a moth that is struggling. He asked Yinshin if he is curious about his identity. Before the man could introduce himself, Yinshin attacked him and gave him a huge scar on his face. Our boy attacked the idiot with his sword sheath, and yet he managed to knock him out. The man was dragged away after Yinshin knocked him out. A young man smiled when he saw how our boy defeated the man. He stepped out and told Yinshin that he will be his next opponent. Our boy turned around to see the handsome young man with light blue hair. The supervisors from different squads were excited to see the fight. Among the supervisors, we see 2 men wearing blue clothes. The man with black hair told his colleague that he is curious to see who will take the handsome man. He told him that the squad leaders will fight over the handsome man. His colleague told him that the man is stronger than them. He said that he does not expect anything less from a Namgung. Yinshin was shocked to hear this. He immediately realized that he was looking at the White Qilin whose true name is Namgung Washin. The supervisors wondered if they were going to witness the Boundless Heaven technique today. Our boy was able to tell that the White Qilin is about 5 years older than him. Although the man was strong, Yinshin did not believe that he was at a level which he could not reach. Thanks to his family's martial arts, our boy was more physically fit than Washin. However, he was below him in other aspects. Washin bowed his head and introduced himself to Yinshin. He told our boy that he mainly trained in the Boundless Heaven martial arts and the Infinite Steps. Immediately he said this, he drew out his sword. Yinshin bowed his head and revealed the martial arts he uses to Washin. The man noticed something strange. He asked Yinshin if he is not going to use his sword. The moment he said this, our boy grabbed his sword and took a stance. The White Qilin smiled when he saw this. He released his energy and covered his sword with it. The main essence of the technique which Yinshin has been practicing is unpredictability. Our boy will give his opponent an unexpected main attack in the midst of an unpredictable rhythm. Yinshin believed that he will be able to make the White Qilin let his guard down if his technique works. All the supervisors focused their attention on Hua Xin. The referee asked our boy and Hua Xin to begin the duel. Immediately he said this. Yinshin attacked the white Qilin. Unfortunately for him, Hua Xin was able to block the attack and his sword got broken. Hua Xin was shocked to see our boy's attack. He never expected it to be so fast. All the supervisors could not understand what they just saw. Although they expected Hua Xin to win, they had never expected to see such a scary, delightful sword. The two men in blue were more shocked than the other supervisors. Hua Xin took a look at his sword. He turned to Yinshin and told him that he lost. Our boy was surprised to hear this. Everyone else was also surprised to hear this. The two men did not seem surprised to hear the result. In fact, they were more shocked by our boy's delightful sword. The man with blonde hair noticed that Yinshin was 5 years younger than the white Qilin. He realized that our boy could not yet use true energy with his techniques. The blonde man said that he is scared of how powerful Yinshin will become in future. The referee walked up to our boy. He pointed in another direction and told him that there is another garden in the north side. He asked Yinshin to wait at the garden. Our boy bowed his head and told the white Qilin that he will love to duel with him another time. Hua Xin said that he was also about to propose the same thing. With a smile on his face, the man told Yinshin that he is looking forward to their next duel. After hearing this, Yinshin moved to the next garden. Inside the garden, he saw some warriors already waiting there. The martial artists were surprised to see that someone as young as Yinshin passed the tournament. They believed that the white Qilin would have been the next to step into the garden. As he walked forward, Yinshin thought about his fight with the white Qilin. Our boy knew that he had no chance of winning the fight if it was dragged on. This is why he used the most extreme form of delightful sword as soon as the duel began. However, because Hua Xin had imbued his sword with his true energy, our boy's sword broke. Yinshin believed that it was a failure on his end for rashly using delightful sword. Although he believed that this was true, Yinshin never expected the white Qilin to admit defeat. He realized that this is how a noble of a renowned family behaves. Our boy remembered how surprised the two men were when they realized that he could not use true energy with his techniques. The Young clan is a third-rate branch clan. There was no one in Yinshin's household that knew how to use true energy. If such a person existed, our boy would have learnt from the person. Yinshin drew out his sword. Now that our boy had seen it, he understood how it is supposed to be used. While staring at his sword, our boy began to release some energy. Yinshin understood that it wasn't just simple as putting energy into his sword. Instead, true energy is meant to be used as a medium to become one with the sword. The moment he thought of this, his sword began to glow. The other martial artists saw a shining, blinding light in the garden. When they turned, they saw something shocking. They could not believe that Yinshin was experiencing sword resonation. They were more shocked to see that such a young person was experiencing it. Yinshin's sword released a bright light and waves of energy. Yinshin felt like his body and his sword had become united. He raised his sword and took a stance. Our boy realized that he had reached the body-sword unification. After reaching his new state, Yinshin opened his eyes. Our boy smiled when he looked at his sword. Someone congratulated him on his enlightenment. When Yinshin turned to the side, he saw the white Qilin. The man placed his hand on his sword. Yinshin looked around. He noticed that the other martial artists were staring at him. Our boy realized that the white Qilin was protecting him because he was scared that someone might get in the way of his enlightenment. While he was thinking, Wenchang walked up to him. Yinshin put his broken sword away and thanked Hua Xin for protecting him. He also congratulated him on passing the tournament. Hua Xin began to laugh when he heard this. Wenchang reminded his friend that he is also next to him. Our boy smiled and congratulated him. While they were talking, Wenchang remembered something. He told Yinshin that he has gotten a nickname. Our boy was surprised to hear this. When someone has shown exceptional martial arts prowess or has attracted attention, people will give that person a nickname and call them by it. Unless it is someone who commits atrocious and evil deeds, most nicknames represent a huge honor for martial artists. Hua Xin informed Yinshin that he has also heard about his nickname. Our boy was surprised to hear this. He was certain that he had not done anything other than pass a trial. Hua Xin revealed to our boy that people call him the Lightning Genius. Yinshin was surprised to hear this. He could not believe that he was now known as the Lightning Genius. According to the white Qilin, people are saying that he has the talent of lightning. The man told Yinshin that this is his new name in the Jianghu since even the desolate fortress martial artists are calling him by this name. Our boy laughed when he heard his new name. He asked the two men if they are certain that people are not just trying to mock him because he is a little fast with his sword. Washin smiled when he heard this. He could not believe that Yinshin thought that he was a little fast. He asked our boy to tell him what he will call someone like him who had a hard time blocking his attack. Our boy looked up to the sky. He could not believe that he was now known as the Lightning Genius. This was a title that he could not even dream of when he was doing the horse stance in the young manner. A while later, everyone was asked to gather around. They were told that they are about to go through their last trial. The supervisor told them that they will be able to join the desolate fortress if they pass the trial. Yinshin could not believe that he was about to meet a living piece of history and one of the strongest martial masters in the world who might even be the strongest. After the supervisor explained to them, the first person walked into the building. A little while later, the man came out of the building looking like he had seen something that he should have not seen. Wenchang was surprised to see the look on the man's face. The man did not say anything to anyone. He simply walked past everyone. After the man left, others went in. They all came out looking the same. Due to the fact that everyone came out quickly, Wenchang asked his friend if the leader is simply looking at faces. After a while, Yinshin was asked to step in. Our boy was asked to keep going until he gets to the top floor. When Yinshin arrived at the top, he saw a huge golden door. The door opened and our boy stepped inside. Immediately, he stepped inside. Yinshin noticed that there were some vines tied to a pillar. When he looked up, our boy saw someone sitting on a throne that was surrounded by trees. The person that sat on the throne was a woman who is a member of the noble race. This elf is the leader of the desolate fortress. Yinshin greeted the elf and introduced himself to her. She turned her head to see our boy. Yinshin was surprised to see the elven woman. The leader was a beautiful elven woman with green hair and green eyes. The leader told our boy that he is part of a certain bloodline. With a serious look on his face, Yinshin asked the leader about the bloodline she speaks of. Our boy wondered if the leader knew about his mother's family. The elf glared at Yinshin. She could tell that our boy already knew what she was talking about. She told him that he is quite bold. Upon hearing this, Yinshin admitted to her that he is the grandson of the former Divine Sword Squad leader. The leader revealed to our boy that his grandfather is about to join the Elder Council. She told him that he is a very obstinate man. While looking at Yinshin, the elf told our boy that he has an injury. Yinshin was surprised to hear this. He told her that she does not need to concern herself with it. He assured her that they are nothing but trivial issues. The elf explained to our boy that the issues are not trivial. She told him that he simply covered the wound with his trained body. She told him that he has only lived for 15 years. She apologized to Yinshin for commenting on his issue. She told him that an outsider like herself should not be getting involved in such things. The leader smiled and stood up from her chair. She told Yinshin that she likes him. She explained to him that she finds it interesting that he doesn't bow to anyone even though he came here because he has something he wants. Yinshin was surprised to hear this. He did not know how the leader was able to find out that he wants something. He wondered if she has found out that his Baihui acupoint is abnormally wide open. Yinshin decided to ask her his question. He asked the leader if he will live if he eats the fruit of the world tree. The woman told our boy that it is possible for him to get what he wants. Yinshin asked the leader if he can actually get it. The elf explained to him that it depends on what he does. Yinshin was relieved to hear this. He told her that this is enough for him. He thanked the leader for her response. The moment he bowed his head, our boy remembered something. He asked the leader if he is now a martial artist of the desolate fortress. The elf smiled when she heard this. She told our boy that he is. She told him that he can leave now. She referred to him as the next Divine Sword Squad leader. Yinshin was surprised to hear this. As he walked back downstairs, our boy remembered her words. He wondered if the leader was trying to tease him or if she really sees potential in him. Yinshin realized that the leader might also be telling him that he will be able to get the fruit of the world tree if he becomes the next Divine Sword Squad leader. The scene shifts and we see Yinshin, Wenchang, the White Qilin, and another man. These four were the only people that managed to pass the test. The four of them were being escorted by a staff. While walking, the man asked the group if they know the kind of work that the desolate fortress does. With a confident smile on his face, Wenchang told the man that the desolate fortress stops martial masters from overthrowing the imperial family. The man told Wenchang that he is partly correct. He explained to him that this is actually one of the major things that they do. He revealed to him that they have something else they also take care of. He told him that they prevent a certain size of conflict from happening in the Murim. The group was surprised to hear this. According to the staff, no one knows what would happen when a fight breaks out in the Murim. The man revealed to them that a blood storm swept across the central plains on the day that rumors that the heavenly demon's grave was discovered. Things would have been fine if the fight was between those who coveted manuals of ultimate martial arts or elixirs. Unfortunately, the martial artists did not care. They committed heinous crimes against commoners and other martial artists. The man told them that they will not recognize the Murim after they witness this hellish sight. Wenchang was annoyed to hear this. He recalled the incident which the man was talking about as the disaster of the heavenly demon's grave. The staff told the group that it has been 17 years since the incident took place. He explained to them that the unorthodox sects and the demonic faction are not the only problems they have. All orthodox groups, including the 9 great sects and the 8 great clans, are also a problem. The man told them that the people will suffer if they allow these powers to do as they wish. In other words, if there is unrest among the people and taxes are not paid on time, the reign of the empire will have problems. The staff explained to them that this is the reason why the imperial family provides them with huge amounts of money, elixirs, manuals, and martial masters. The man stopped walking and turned around. With a serious look on his face, he told them that their job is to sever the heads of any martial artist that disrupts the lives of normal people. These words resonated with the group. They each repeated it to themselves. After saying this, the man moved to the side and showed them a building. He told the group that they will be staying there for now. He explained to them that they will later be assigned to a place and be moved to the accommodations of that place. The man wished the group the best of luck. In the next scene, we see our boy on his bed. Yinshin realized that he had now spent a week in this place. He never expected it to take so much time for him to be assigned to a place. While our boy was thinking, someone knocks on his door and asks him if he can enter. Yinshin asked the person to step in. The person turns out to be Wenchang. The boy seemed to be happy. Yinshin asked him to tell him what happened. Wenchang revealed to our boy that the place they are going has been decided. He told him that they are going to the Radiant Demon Squad, which is a combat squad. Our boy was surprised to hear this. Wenchang sat on his bed and asked him if he has heard about the rumors. Yinshin asked him to share the rumors with him. According to the boy, the 17 combat squad captains under the Divine Sword Squad fought each other in order to take in new warriors. Yinshin was surprised to hear this. He remembered that the combat squad captains are the martial masters that represent the desolate fortress. He asked his friend if the captains really sparred with each other. Wenchang revealed to him that they fought in order to recruit the White Qilin and the Lightning Genius. The next day, we are taken to the arena of the Radiant Demon Squad. We see our boy and Wenchang wearing their brand new uniform. Wenchang seemed to be in love with his clothes. Next to the arena were other squad members wearing the same uniforms as them. Some of them also wore a blue uniform. In front of the two boys was the captain of the Radiant Demon Squad. His name is Ma Jin. The man wore a black uniform. Yinshin had heard that Ma Jin is the strongest among the captains. After seeing him with his own eyes, our boy was able to tell that it was true. Ma Jin moved close to them. With a terrifying look on his face, he called our boy the Lightning Genius. Yinshin answered to the man's call. Ma Jin continued to glare at our boy. However, Yinshin did not falter. He simply looked at his captain. Ma Jin smiled when he saw this. He commended our boy for having a backbone. He told him that people like him do not die easily. According to the captain, the combat squad under the Divine Sword Squad is basically like one of the sects in the Central Plains. He told the boys that they will both learn the martial arts of the Radiant Squad and execute missions. He pointed his hand to the back and told them that the people behind him are their seniors. Wenchang raised his hand and told the captain that he has a question. The captain asked him to speak. Wenchang thanked him for allowing him to ask a question. The boy asked Ma Jin if learning the martial arts of the Radiant Demon Squad means that everyone will be sharing their martial arts with each other. The captain assured the boy that the martial arts they learned belongs to them. He told him that only the Radiant Squad martial arts will be taught. Wenchang was relieved to hear this. He was excited to learn the famous Radiant Demon arts. Ma Jin told the boy that he needs to work hard at learning the martial arts if he wants to survive. Yinshin remembered that he had heard about the Radiant Demon arts. The Radiant Demon Squad is one of the more famous squads amongst the 17 squads. This is because they were able to fight the Plum Blossom Swordsmen. These are the 24 elite swordsmen of the Manhwa sect. The Radiant Demon Squad fought this people without any casualties. This incident gave more credibility to the gossip mongers, saying that the desolate fortress is the strongest in the world. The captain explained to the boys that although the desolate fortress is affiliated with the imperial family, it is not treason for a martial artist of a desolate fortress to be attacked. He told them that this is the reason why they must learn whatever they can in the squad and continue to grow stronger. Yinshin asked the man to tell him why it is not treason for them to be attacked by other martial artists. The captain explained to him that there are eccentric people in the Murim. A lot of these people have lost their minds because they learned demonic arts. Some martial artists are exceptionally skilled in mobility arts, and they could mess with government officials before escaping to the high mountains and deep valleys. This is why the dignity of the imperial family isn't applied to them since they are not government workers. Instead, they actually have to fight martial artists. The captain told the boys that they will die if they do not become stronger. He turned around and pointed at a squad member. He told Yinshin that the guy who got slashed by the Namgung's strongest swordsman will be able to give him a better explanation. With a smile on his face, the guy in a blue uniform said that the King-style sword arts was actually quite scary. Our boy remembered that the King-style sword arts is known to be one of the strongest style of swordsmanship in the world. It is a supreme martial art only learned by the main descendants of the Namgung clan. Ma Jian was annoyed to see the guy sitting on the ground. The man was scared to see the look on his captain's face. He quickly stood up. Yinshin remembered that the Namgung's strongest swordsman is said to be the strongest swordsman in China. He could not believe that his senior came back alive after fighting someone so strong. The man told our boy that he wants to start with him. He said that he wanted to see Yinshin's swift sword art, which is said to be exceptional. Yinshin moved to the side and placed his hand on his sword. Everyone was surprised to see this. They were surprised to see the amount of energy Yinshin was exuding. The man smiled when he saw this. He took out his sword. He took a stance and introduced himself as Cheng Myung. He told our boy that he was born and raised in Xiangyang. Our boy also took a stance and introduced himself. Myung told him that he has never heard of his town. Myung explained to Yinshin that anyone can feel wind being produced even if it is by a 10-year-old that is using a tri-sword technique. This is how you can find out how a person swings their sword while fighting. Our boy did not understand what the man was saying. The man pointed at our boy and told him that he must be quite talented for him to have reached this point at such a young age. While releasing his energy through his sword, Myung asked Yinshin to show him his talent. He asked him to show him how talented he is with his sword. Our boy accepted this challenge. Immediately he did this. He raised his sword. The other members were shocked to see the energy Yinshin was exuding. They realized that he had sword resonance. Even the captain was shocked to see this. While his sword was glowing and vibrating, Yinshin glared at Myung. He put all his focus on his senior. Yinshin could feel his senior's breathing with his energy detection. After staring at him for a while, our boy found his opportunity. He quickly rushed to attack him. The moment he got close to him, he took out his sword and used his swift sword arts to attack Myung. To Yinshin's surprise, Myung managed to block his attack when his sword was about to damage him. He did not know when his senior raised his sword. Our boy stepped back and stood his ground. He remembered that he was fighting a man that fought against the strongest swordsman of the Namgung clan. He realized that he should have expected this. Yinshin immediately rushed to attack Myung. The senior raised his sword and swung it at our boy. Yinshin dodged the attack by going low. He quickly turned around and swung his sword at Myung. Unfortunately for him, his senior managed to block his attack. Although the senior seemed to be surprised that our boy attacked him this way. While Yinshin was struggling, Myung disappeared in front of him. Our boy was shocked to see this. He immediately realized that Myung was going to appear soon. As he expected, the senior appeared behind him. He swung his sword at our boy. Yinshin managed to dodge the attack by bending his head. The moment he did this, he turned around and swung his sword at his senior's head. Myung managed to dodge the attack by jumping. Unfortunately for him, his headband got cut off. It turns out that Myung is a member of the noble race. He used his energy to land on the floor. He quickly stood up from the floor. Everyone was shocked to see what our boy did. The captain and Wunchong could not believe their eyes. While breathing heavily, Myung glared at Yinshin. Our boy finally understood why Myung was so skilled. He believed that it was expected for a noble race to be skilled. Yinshin took a stance. He decided to use the origin ability, which is also known as the limit releasing technique, on his sword. While he was thinking, he noticed that everyone had a weird look on their faces. He did not understand why everyone was making such weird faces. Even Myung was surprised. Our boy placed his sword down and asked his senior to tell him what he thinks of him. The man was surprised to hear this. Yinshin told his senior that he knows he went easy on him. He asked Myung to be honest with him. Myung did not know how to react to this. He asked Yinshin to tell him how old he is. Our boy was annoyed to hear this question. He revealed to his senior that he is 15 years old. He asked him if his age is important. He reminded him that their enemies won't go easy on them because of their age. He told Myung that their skills are the most important things right now. Our boy believed that age is a useless thing since he already has a short lifespan to begin with. Myung was shocked to hear our boy's age. Everyone else was also shocked to hear this. They could not believe that a 15-year-old boy would be so skilled. One of the seniors in a blue uniform said that this is completely abnormal. He said that Yinshin might be a mistake from the heavens. He revealed to his peers that he has been to the Dragon Phoenix Summit a few times, but he has never seen anything like Yinshin. He told them that it is impossible for anyone to be this skilled even if they learn the instinct honing arts from birth. Another person in a white uniform said that he was the most talented person in his city. Of course, his talent was nothing compared to our boy's. When Yinshin looked around, he noticed that Wonchong was extremely shocked by what he saw. Ma Jin seemed to be more curious than shocked. Myung laughed and put his sword away. Our boy could not still understand what was happening. In the next scene, we see the seniors laughing when they heard someone scream. It turns out that the captain had punched Wonchong with his hand, which he had covered with his energy. The poor boy was struggling to breathe. Ma Jin told Wonchong that it is actually a bit impressive that he is still standing rather than sprawled on the ground. He asked the boy to go back and solidify what he has learned. Wonchong accepted the order. The captain turned to the side. He saw our boy circulating his energy while his eyes were closed. When Yinshin opened his eyes, the captain asked him if he has understood the crux of the steps. Our boy told the man that it is to think and act in a seamless manner. Ma Jin told Yinshin that he is correct. According to the captain, there is always a way for a person to move, regardless of the situation. The true crux of the Radiant Demon Arts is to move seamlessly without disrupting the path of your attacks. Ma Jin told our boy that he must now understand the deeper meaning of the path of attacks. Yinshin was surprised to hear this. The captain realized that it will be much better and faster if he shows it to Yinshin. He moved close to a sculpture and placed his hand on it. He asked the two boys to look carefully. Ma Jin released a small portion of his energy. He took a deep breath. After doing this, he took away his energy. Yinshin was surprised to see this. He noticed that his captain was completely relaxed. The captain raised his other hand. He clenched his fist and used it to destroy the sculpture in one strike. The seniors seemed to be impressed with their captain. Yinshin and Wonchong were shocked to see what he did. Ma Jin explained to the boys that using the strongest attack at the perfect time is the path of attack. He told them that if they follow a path of an attack, the most powerful attack will be unleashed. Yinshin realized that their captain was telling them that they need to grasp the timing of unleashing their strength. The captain told the boys that he does not expect them to be able to do it immediately even though he just showed it to them. He told them that it is not something a person can master after just seeing it once. He revealed to them that this is a technique that they have to learn throughout their lives. Yinshin was surprised to hear this. He asked his captain if he is certain. His captain's words did not make sense to him because he felt like he could do it right now. Our boy decided to try it out. He walked past his captain. Ma Jin was surprised to see this. He wondered if Yinshin was actually going to try it out. Our boy stood in front of another sculpture. He remembered that the essence of core energy is the great nature. He believed that it would be sufficient for him to follow the lead of nature. Yinshin raised his sword. He entered the state of body-sword unification. He relaxed himself and opened his eyes. He carefully looked at the sculpture. He saw the sculpture in a shiny blue form. While looking at the sculpture, our boy saw a bright light shining in the middle of it. Immediately he saw the light. Yinshin used his sword sheath to hit the spot where the light came from. The moment he did this, the sculpture began to crack. It crumbled apart. Our boy smiled when he saw this. He realized that he had understood the deeper meaning of the path of attacks. Yinshin was quite happy to see that he had learned all of the Radiant Demon Arts. He simply needed to continue training to be able to use it in a real fight. While he was smiling, he turned around. Everyone was completely lost. They could not comprehend what they just witnessed. Yinshin told his captain that he was not quite good since it is his first time. He explained to him that he still needs to experience many more fights before he can use it properly. He told Ma Jin that if he wants to use the martial arts in an instant where life and death is on the line, normal practices like this won't work. Everyone was shocked to hear this. Yinshin bowed his head and thanked his captain for his teachings. Ma Jin did not even know how to react to this. He told our boy that he will need to think about how he should teach him. Yinshin did not understand what his captain was saying. The next day, we see Wonchong next to our boy. He asked Yinshin if he heard that their seniors had a huge fight with the Heavenly Squad. Our boy was surprised to hear this. He reminded Wonchong that the Desolate Fortress is actually quite strict when it comes to their rules. He told him that fighting outside of training grounds is a punishable offense for martial artists of the desolate fortress. Yinshin asked his friend to tell him why they fought. Wenchang revealed to him that one of the Heavenly Squad members picked a fight with their squad at a restaurant. He told a member of their squad that our boy's talent won't blossom in their squad. Yinshin could not believe that the men actually fought for this reason. Wenchang told his friend that he does not know what the Murim is like. He explained to him that something that does not seem like a big deal could provoke someone to raise their sword against him. Unfortunately, the streets place great value on the process of defeating your opponent and winning the fight. Wenchang told our boy that the situation is actually not bad. With a weird look on his face, the boy told Yinshin that he never expected the seniors of the desolate fortress to get angry over a newbie. He said that he would not know what to do if he was in the same situation. Yinshin did not understand what his friend was saying. He was certain that the seniors were angry because someone insulted their squad. While thinking, our boy realized that he has an opportunity in front of him. Yinshin knew that he needed to accomplish something in order to get the fruit of the world tree which all the noble races of the world worship. He knew that he will definitely need help from others if he wants to get accomplishments. Although the best way to gain the trust of a martial artist is to make the martial artist owe you his life, it will still be good for our boy to leave a good impression on his squad members. Yinshin stood up. He told his friend that he is correct. He told him that he never expected their seniors to be fighting because of him. He assured his friend that he will not let this go. He told him that they need to pay their seniors a visit. Wenchang was surprised to hear this. He commended his friend on his bravery. He told our boy that he is a chivalrous person who knows the code of martial artists. Yinshin wondered if something like this was actually chivalry. The scene shifts and we see our boy and his friend arrive at the training ground. The seniors were surprised to see them. They could not believe that the newbies came to train even though there are no lessons today. They believed that the boys were hardworking. A senior wearing a blue uniform told the boys that they do not need to train so hard while they are wearing the white uniform. Another senior wearing blue said that it is actually best for the boys to train while still wearing white. The two boys walked up to the captain and greeted him. Majin asked them if they ran into any problems while training. Yinshin revealed to his captain that he wishes to have a spar. Majin asked our boy to look around and choose someone to spar with. Our boy told the man that he does not want to spar with anyone in their squad. With a serious look on his face, Yinshin told Majin that he wants to spar against the Heavenly Squad. Everyone, including Wenchang, was shocked to hear this. Upon hearing this, Majin realized that our boy has heard about what happened yesterday. The captain told Yinshin that he does not need to get worked up over it. Our boy told his captain that he wants to see the heavenly sword arts which he has admired for a long time. Majin told Yinshin that it is too late for him to say something like this. He believed that our boy was too agitated. The captain actually liked the fact that our boy got worked up because of his seniors. Yinshin bowed his head and explained to his captain that he wants to show everyone that the Radiant Demon Arts is a great martial arts. He begged Majin to give him a chance. Yinshin actually wanted to gain fighting experience with the Radiant Demon Arts. He also wanted to observe and advance martial arts and leave a good impression on his seniors. Our boy wanted to kill 3 birds with 1 stone. Majin reminded Yinshin that he did not learn the same kind of martial arts as the Heavenly Squad, and he has never fought in battle with them before. He told Yinshin that his opponent has no reason to go easy on him, even if it is a spar. With a fired-up look on his face, Yinshin assured his captain that this is exactly what he wants. Everyone was shocked to hear this. The seniors began to praise Yinshin. They told him that he has a spirit that is befitting of a martial artist of the desolate fortress. They told him that he can become the next captain of their squad if he survives this spar. Upon realizing that he could not persuade Yinshin, Majin told him that he will send a message to the Heavenly Squad. Our boy was happy to hear this. In the next scene, we are taken to the arena of the Heavenly Squad. Yinshin stood in front of his opponent who was from the Heavenly Squad. Some of the Heavenly Squad members were shocked to see that a white robe actually challenged a blue robe. A white robe told his seniors that the fight is actually supposed to be a guidance fight for the sake of learning. A blue robe asked his colleague to tell him how long Yinshin will last in the fight. The man told his friend that our boy will last for 10 bouts at best. The man believed that it was impossible for a newly joined white robe to last 10 bouts against a blue robe, while our boy and his opponent were staring at each other. The captains of their squads also stared at them. The captain of the Heavenly Squad is known as Han Chulmak. Chulmak and Majin were not happy to see each other. Chulmak pointed at Yinshin and told Majin that he will give our boy one of the Heavenly Squad's elixirs if he lasts for 10 bouts. Majin was surprised to hear this. He told the man that an elixir might be too much to bet with. Chulmak asked the captain if he is scared that he will lose. Ma Jin asked the man to not provoke him. He reminded him that the desolate fortress's elixirs are valuable and they are not something that should be used frivolously. Chulmak was annoyed to hear this. He explained to Ma Jin that the honor of their squads is on the line. He asked him if this is not important to him. Ma Jin let out a sigh. He decided to accept the deal. Chulmak happily sat down when he heard this. He told Ma Jin that they need to trust their own people as leaders of the group. Ma Jin smiled when he heard this. Yinshin's opponent moved close to him and asked him if he just joined the organization. Our boy bowed his head and introduced himself to the man. In the desolate fortress, people start as white robe warriors before advancing to a blue robe warrior. However, not everyone becomes a blue robe warrior. There are some people who take more than 10 years to become blue robe warriors. The blue robe warriors are people who won't lose to even the pinnacle martial masters who represent major sects. The man revealed to Yinshin that he has trained in the heavenly sword arts for 20 years. He told our boy that although swords are said to have no eyes, the sword of masters do have eyes. With a serious look on his face, the man told Yinshin that this does not mean anything to him. He assured our boy that he will not show him any mercy. Yinshin told the man that he has no problem with this. The man was surprised to see how calmly he spoke. He drew out his sword. He then released his energy. Everyone focused their attention on the man. Yinshin smiled when he saw this. He was curious about the kind of sword style that a blue robe of the heavenly squad uses. Our boy quickly removed this thought from his head. He believed that he did not need any of this unnecessary thoughts. He told himself that the sword style the man used is irrelevant. He said that he will simply use his own style of martial arts. The man covered his sword with his energy. He told our boy that he will let him have the first attack. He asked him to come at him. Yinshin activated the limit-releasing technique. He quickly rushed to attack the man. He swung his sword at him when he got close to him. The man managed to block the attack. He realized that our boy was quite fast. Yinshin raised his sword and began to attack the man fiercely. The man could only block our boy's attacks. The captain of the heavenly squad and his squad members could not comprehend what they were seeing. Chulmak could not believe that a white robe was this fast. Ma Jin smiled when he saw the look on his face. He knew that anyone would be shocked to see this level of skill from such a young boy. Although he knew that Yinshin is skilled, Ma Jin knew that it will be impossible for our boy to win if he doesn't make use of this opportunity. While fiercely attacking him, Yinshin moved closer to the man. The man was startled when he saw this. Before he could react, our boy continued his rain of attacks. The man could barely keep up with the attacks. Yinshin realized that he has gotten stronger after entering the desolate fortress. His body was now on a different level. It was trained with the Jung clan's movement art and the principles of martial arts. Our boy carefully moved to the side. The more inclined the sword trajectory is, the more back muscles it uses. When taking a step forward and turning with core energy, a rotational force is created. With this rotational force and his well-trained body, Yinshin used his sword to land a heavy hit on the man from the side. Everyone was shocked to see this. Before the man could regain his stance, Yinshin moved closer to him. He used the rotational force to knock the man's weapon out of his hand. Our boy could not believe that he had learned a new move. Yinshin put his sword to the man's neck. The man realized that he had lost. Our boy took a deep breath and glared at the man. The heavenly squad members could not comprehend what they just saw. Chulmak was quite annoyed. Ma Jin was happy to see the look on his face. The referee announced that our boy won the fight. The Radiant Demon Squad began to cheer when they heard this. While the man was doing his best to fix his hand, Yinshin put his sword into his sheath. Our boy knew that he was lucky. He only won because he had an overwhelming momentum due to the fact that he took the man by surprise. Our boy was certain that the results would definitely be different if he fought the man again. Yinshin bowed his head and thanked the man for giving him the opportunity to observe such a high-level swordsmanship. The man smiled when he heard this. He turned around and went to pick up his sword. He revealed to Yinshin that he was surprised by his sword trajectory and his rotational force. He told our boy that he possesses a martial prowess that is beyond his years. He explained to Yinshin that he has an incredible talent for swords. The man now understood why our boy is called the Lightning Genius. He could not believe that Yinshin actually possessed a martial prowess that is unfathomable even though he is so young. He told our boy that he is envious that the Radiant Squad found a treasure. The other people in the arena could not still believe their eyes. Ma Jin stretched out his hand to Chulmak. The man was annoyed to see this. Yinshin decided to name his new technique as the Energy Accumulation Discharge. While he was looking around, his captain walked up to him. With a smile on his face, Ma Jin threw a box to our boy. When he opened the box, he was shocked to see what was inside. Ma Jin told our boy that he is holding an elixir of the Heavenly Squad. The elixir was a small golden pill. He revealed to Yinshin that the elixir now belongs to him. The scene shifts and we see members of the Radiant Squad surround a particular building. At the entrance of the building, we see the noble race man and a woman looking around. This woman is known as the Zen Demon Sword. Her name is Beck Mirio. Mirio told the man that Yinshin is a monster. She never expected him to defeat a skilled swordsman like Gukikwan, someone who is a blue robe of the Heavenly Squad. Mirio revealed to her colleague that our boy is actually quite hardworking, humble, and polite. She told him that Yinshin is also good at seeing through martial arts. The man explained to her that they have never seen someone as talented as Yinshin. According to Mirio, when she uses a technique while sparring, our boy is somehow able to apply the same principle in a different posture. The way he executes the technique is even more precise than normal. Mirio revealed to her colleague that she would hate to use exclusive martial arts in front of Yinshin. She explained to him that our boy has some sort of innate talent for reinterpreting martial arts. The man agreed with his colleague. He told her that it is as if our boy learned the martial arts a long time ago. He believed that Yinshin is a true monster. The scene shifts and we are taken inside the building. We see Yinshin on the floor and Ma Jin next to him. The captain told our boy that he does not know the amount of energy he will be able to draw out of the elixir. People usually absorb about 60 to 70% of the elixir, but depending on the situation, it could be lesser than that. Ma Jin explained to our boy that he will damage his energy core or blood vessels if he acts recklessly because he feels like he is absorbing less. He asked him to not be too obsessed with absorbing it. Our boy assured him that he understood. According to the captain, the way to consume an elixir is to allow it flow into your core energy and to circulate that energy endlessly until it has completely melted. Ma Jin assured our boy that he will step in and help if his energy circulation becomes unstable. He asked him not to get surprised and to act accordingly. After hearing this, Yinshin put the elixir into his mouth and swallowed it. The moment he did this, he closed his eyes. Yinshin could feel his energy increasing immediately. The elixir entered his body. A bright golden light shined from our boy's chest. Yinshin began to gather energy around him. The moment he did this, Mirio and her colleague turned around. They could feel his energy. They realized that our boy had started to absorb the elixir. Mirio wondered about how strong Yinshin will become after he absorbs the elixir. The elixir shined like the sun in our boy's body. Yinshin carefully circulated its energy around his body. Ma Jin was surprised to see what was happening. He was certain that this was Yinshin's first time absorbing an elixir. He did not understand why the circulation of his energy was extremely natural. The captain could tell that there was no need for him to help our boy. After circulating his energy for a while, the energy around him dissipated. He opened his eyes and looked at his hands. He felt the new energy in his body. With a nervous look on his face, the captain congratulated Yinshin. He told him that he has completely absorbed the elixir. While looking at his hand, our boy revealed to his captain that his new core energy is quite strong. Ma Jin never expected him to completely absorb the elixir. He was more surprised by the fact that our boy did this without his help. While looking at his body, our boy sensed something. Now that Yinshin had more energy, he could detect the presences that he was not able to detect before. He realized that his seniors have surrounded the building. He wondered if they were protecting him because he is completely vulnerable while he is absorbing the elixir. Our boy turned to his captain and revealed to him that he was being protected while he absorbed the elixir. With a serious look on his face, Yinshin asked his captain to tell him why everyone is being nice to him. Ma Jin smiled when he heard this. He revealed to him that they are not taking special care of him. He assured him that this is done for everyone in the Radiant Demon Squad. He explained to Yinshin that things like this become natural once you risk your life a few times in the Jianghu. He reminded our boy that it is better for their squad if he becomes stronger. At night, we see Yinshin meditating in his room. Our boy realized that the amount of energy he had before cannot be compared to what he has now. Yinshin decided to go to the training ground. He wanted to see how much stronger his martial arts had become. While he was walking to the training ground, the Zen sword demon called out to him. Our boy was surprised to see the woman. Mirio asked him if he came out because he could not wait to test himself. Yinshin told her that he did. The Zen sword demon revealed to our boy that she realized something after seeing his fight. Yinshin was surprised to hear this. He congratulated her for learning something. The woman told him that she only learned a small move. She apologized for interrupting his plan to train. She asked him if he would like to spar with her. Yinshin bowed his head and told Mirio that he can always train alone anytime. He told her that it is a rare opportunity for him to be able to spar with the Zen Sword Demon's palm strike technique. The woman put her hand together and asked Yinshin to simply call her Mirio. After greeting each other, the two put some gap between themselves. Yinshin pulled out his sword and said that he will be making the first move. With a smile on her face, Mirio took a stance. Our boy quickly rushed to attack her. He tried to pierce her with his sword. Mirio dodged the attack and grabbed Yinshin's hand. She covered her hand with her energy and used it to hit our boy in his stomach. The attack pushed Yinshin back. Before he could regain his balance, Mirio moved close to him. She covered her other hand with her energy. Upon seeing this, Yinshin also did the same. When Mirio attacked him, he used his hand to block the attack. Unfortunately for our boy, he was not strong enough to completely block the attack. He got pushed back. Mirio told Yinshin that he is quite scary. While looking at his hand, our boy asked his senior if she trained to use the one-inch strike. The woman told him that she did. According to Mirio, a swordsman that has learnt the Radiant Demon art can't only use a sword. The one-inch strike is very useful in close combat. In order to deal with the energies mixed in the body, a person needs to first destroy the enhanced protection energy with the one-inch strike. The Zen Sword Demon explained to Yinshin that after using core energy in the burst discharge to increase tension, the one-inch strike becomes really efficient. Our boy glared at his senior when he heard this. He asked her if he is allowed to say something. Mirio asked him to speak freely. He revealed to her that he has been more sensitive to detecting energy ever since he was young. He told Mirio that the way she used her core energy attracted his attention. The woman was surprised to hear this. She asked Yinshin if he was really able to see the movement of her core energy. Yinshin told his senior that he can't see her core energy. Mirio asked him to tell her how he was able to know the movement of her core energy. He explained to her that he was simply able to see the flow of the burst discharge and the waves of core energy that were generated outside. Mirio found this hard to believe. She explained to our boy that even purple robe martial masters do not have energy detection skills that is on this level. In the Desolate Fortress, there are white, blue, black, and purple robes. Purple robe martial masters are at the top of the hierarchy. The Zen Sword Demon realized that she was talking to a genius. She decided to take Yinshin's advice. Our boy revealed to her that her palm strike is more suited for puncturing technique rather than the one-inch strike. While remembering the fight, Yinshin told her that the technique may seem more suited for the one-inch strike. He told Mirio that her technique will be more powerful if she was to use it with the puncturing technique. Mirio seemed to be offended when she heard this. She asked him if she looks like an idiot that can't use something as simple as a puncturing technique. She asked him if he believes that this was the reason why she did not use the technique. Yinshin realized that she was angry. He apologized to her for saying something that upset her. To his surprise, the Zen Sword Demon turned around and apologized to him. She also thanked him. Yinshin watched her as she left the training ground. The scene shifts and we see Mirio in her captain's office. She revealed to him that Yinshin has figured out her martial arts. She asked him if he has ever told our boy about the origin of her martial arts. Majin asked the woman to stop spouting nonsense. He told her that he can never share something so important. The Zen Sword Demon was surprised to hear this. She wondered about how Yinshin understood her martial arts. Majin asked his subordinate if our boy figured out that she tweaked the Heavenly Demon Sacred Art, which is a lost martial arts. Mirio told him that Yinshin probably found out about it. Majin smiled when he heard this. He stood up and told his subordinate that Yinshin is special. He assured her that it would be hard to find anyone like him in the Jianghu. He explained to her that people like our boy occasionally appear in the world. They become pinnacle martial masters who are considered the strongest in the world alongside the noble race and the iron race. Mirio asked her captain if Yinshin is truly so special. The man assured her that he is. He told her that our boy is the future of the Desolate Fortress. Majin advised his subordinate to not underestimate his advice and to not think about it as trivial. The Zen Sword Demon asked her captain if he is telling her to discuss the Heavenly Demon Sacred Arts with our boy. Majin explained to her that there are limits to learning the martial arts alone. He told her that he does not have enough time to help her. He assured her that the best thing to do right now would be to seek Yinshin's help. He revealed to her that our boy possesses the qualities of a martial arts founder who can adapt any martial art to one's body. Mirio was shocked to hear this. Majin asked her to not be bothered by this. He took out a scroll and revealed to her that a small mission just came in. Majin ordered Mirio to team up with Yinshin and observe how he overcomes life and death situations. He asked her to see if Yinshin is truly special. The man assured her that our boy will become the next captain of the Radiant Demon Squad within the next 5 years. In the next scene, we see Miyoung, Mirio, Yinshin, and Wonchang riding their horses. On their way to their destination, the Zen Sword Demon recalled that her captain asked her to check if Yinshin is someone worthy enough to become her superior. The scene shifts, and we see the group arrive at the stage station of the Jinping County. When he came down from his horse, Wonchang complained about riding for 10 days straight. While looking at his teammates, our boy remembered what their captain told them. According to Majin, people who bring offerings to the Blood Flame cult have settled down in a village and would routinely slaughter livestock while ruining crops. The village is located in Jinping County in the south of Shaanxi. Usually, the Jinping branch would be able to deal with the issue. However, there has been an incident where the elixir of the Mount Hua sect has been stolen. Wonchang was surprised to hear this. He asked his captain if the elixir is the plum blossom pill that is on par with the Shaolin Temple's Great Revitalization pill. Majin told him that he thinks so. He revealed to him that the situation has escalated and now involves the whole Shaanxi. He explained to the team that the branch does not have spare manpower, so they asked the main branch for help. He told the group that he wants them to deal with the issue. Immediately he remembered what his captain said. Our boy thought about the Blood Flame cult. While he was thinking, someone asked them about why they are just arriving when they requested help so long ago. The person turns out to be some fat noble. The man said that he was going to act respectful to them because they are the sword of the empire. He asked them about why they were so slow. The man seemed to be disappointed that the desolate fortress sent a group of young people. He asked them if they can even deal with the enemy. Yinshin ignored the man and asked his seniors to tell him what he is looking at. The man was annoyed to hear this. Miyoung explained to him that there are always ignorant officials in most places. The elf told him that he has visited many counties, and he has seen many officials who have never even seen a true martial artist before. He said that such people think that the desolate fortress is their broom. The official became enraged when he heard this. He could not believe that Miyoung dared to speak to him so rudely. Yinshin asked Miyoung if he can block the official's mute acupoint. The elf asked him to go ahead. He did not want to waste his time there. The man wanted to start yelling, but our boy blocked his acupoint. The man began to sweat. He noticed that he could not speak. Yinshin told him that they do not take orders from him. While the official was struggling to speak, Yinshin and the rest of the group walked forward. While walking, Wonchang asked his friend if he also learned how to block acupoints. Yinshin told him that he did. Wonchang told our boy that he has realized that it is not respectful to call him by his name. Wonchang told his friend that he will call him Warrior Young. Yinshin referred to him as the Desolate Fortress Sacred Warrior and asked him to do as he pleases. Wonchang was quite proud of his new nickname. While they were talking, Miyoung placed his hand on our boy's shoulder. He reminded our boy that the Murim and the government doesn't interfere with each other. However, when it comes to the government, the Desolate Fortress gets more freedom than most martial artists because the imperial family allows it. The elf told him that it is fine if they want to mess with idiots who think they have them on a leash. Mirio moved close to them and warned Yinshin to never overdo it. Although she said this, she still commended him on his actions. While they were talking, Wonchang noticed something odd about a village far from them. He told his teammates that something is wrong there. When the group carefully looked at the village, they saw a man with red hair holding a child in one hand and a blood-stained sword in another hand. The villagers seemed to be trying to stop the man. The man raised the child and asked him to be quiet. Yinshin immediately realized that he was looking at a blood flame cultist. He quickly began to run towards the village. Before he could get far, Miyoung ran past him. Our boy was surprised to see how fast his senior was. He realized that this is the mobility art of the noble race. It is known as grass flutter. Mirio and Wonchang also ran past Yinshin. He was annoyed to see this. He wasn't able to train much in mobility arts. The lack of a proper mobility arts experience from the young manor is giving him a huge disadvantage. With a smile on his face, the cultist used his sword to cut one of the villagers. The man fell to the ground. Another villager quickly rushed to check on him. Other villagers asked him to hand over the child. The man noticed that the child was crying. He asked him to shut up. He wondered if the child was full of life energy because he is young. While the man was yelling at the child, he heard something behind him. When he turned around, he saw Miyoung rushing to attack him. The cultist managed to block the elf's attack. He quickly took a defensive position. The moment he took a stance, he noticed that the child was no longer with him. It turns out that Myung took the child when he attacked him. The man took a look at the symbol on Myung's clothes. He realized that he was from the desolate fortress. He was quite shocked to see that he was a blue-robe martial master. When the cultist turned to the side, he saw Mirio. He could not believe that there were two blue-robe martial masters next to him. The man grit his teeth out of anger. He began to release a large amount of energy. Myung and Mirio immediately took a stance. To their surprise, the man jumped away after gathering his energy. The two of them did not understand what was happening. They assumed that the cultist was going to fight them. Due to how fast he was, Mirio was able to deduce that he sacrifices his own lifespan in exchange for speed. She said that the blood flame cultists are the worst. When she turned to the side, she noticed that her juniors were just arriving. The scene shifts and we are taken to an inn. Mirio told Wonchang that his overall martial arts is alright for a white robe, but his stamina is lacking. She asked him to train to improve his stamina from now on. He bowed his head and said that he will do his best. The woman turned to Yinshin and told him that his basics are surprisingly well trained. She said that it is rare to find someone like him even amongst the 9 great sects and the 8 great clans. She revealed to him that she was able to notice this when she saw him running without any techniques. The Zen Sword Demon told our boy that there is probably no one in the Radiant Demon Squad that holds a candle to him when it comes to physical abilities. She pointed at Myung and said that someone like him could never be his match in terms of physical abilities. Myung laughed when he heard this. He told Yinshin that it is actually true. He asked him not to be disappointed about not knowing any mobility arts. He took a look at our boy. He noticed that he was a bit sad. The elf stood up and asked him if he wants to learn mobility arts from him. Yinshin was shocked to hear this. He asked him if he is certain. Myung explained to our boy that he cannot teach him the martial arts of his household, even if he wants to teach him mobility arts. He told him that this mobility arts is how the noble race moves. According to Myung, people are not able to use it even if they know how it works. The elf told our boy that he thinks he might have a shot at it. Yinshin could not believe that he can learn how the noble race moves. Myung asked him not to be too happy. He revealed to him that no one in the Radiant Demon Squad was able to learn it. With a nervous look on her face, the Zen Sword Demon told her juniors that Myung has actually taught those in the squad who wanted to learn. However, no one successfully learned it. Myung gathered energy at the tip of his feet. With a smile on his face, the elf explained to him that this mobility art does not rely on anything physical. Yinshin was surprised to see how his senior gathered energy at the tip of his feet. He was certain that there were no sudden movements in his core energy. Myung revealed to him that this is simply how the noble race walks and runs. The elf began to walk on a tree. Yinshin noticed that his footsteps were quite light and he couldn't sense his presence. Our boy could tell that his senior was not using core energy. Instead, it was something similar to core energy that was supporting his body. After looking around, Myung carefully jumped down from the tree. Even when he was coming down, he looked like a leaf falling from a tree. With a smile on his face, Myung asked his junior if he understood the technique. Our boy explained to him that he is thinking of what he can do to use core energy to create wind. He told him that he does not have authority like the noble races. Myung was shocked to hear this. He asked Yinshin if he was able to tell that it is the energy of nature just by watching it once. Our boy asked his senior if this wasn't the reason he showed him the technique. The others did not even know how they were supposed to react to this. Yinshin thanked his senior for providing him with some good ideas. Our boy began to think of ways to recreate this mobility art. Mirio and Myung were shocked to see this. Wonchang realized that this was going to take a lot of time. He turned around and said that he will get them a place to stay. Later in the night, we see Yinshin meditating. He was thinking about the energy of nature. After thinking for a while, Yinshin released some energy. Outside the inn, we see Myung sleeping on a sleeping bag which he attached to the tree. While sleeping, the elf hears someone open the door. When he looked down, he saw our boy. He stepped out and stood in the middle of the place. He looked down and gathered energy at the tip of his feet. Myung was shocked to see our boy using the mobility art of the noble race. In the next scene, we see Wonchang training outside. He seemed to be sad. He could not believe that Yinshin had only been there for a month, and he had already learnt the noble race's mobility art. Myung explained to him that our boy has the qualities of a martial arts founder. He revealed to him that even their captain could not learn the mobility art. He eventually chose to focus on his own mobility art. Mirio remembered what her captain said to her when she heard this. She remembered that Ma Jin asked her to see if Yinshin is qualified to be her superior. While she was thinking, Wenchang asked her if it is alright for them to send our boy out alone. Mirio reminded him that the cultists are people who got scared and hid for a month. She told him that it is simply a reconnaissance mission. She believed that Yinshin is enough for the mission. The scene shifts and we are taken to the mountains. We see Yinshin running with his mobility art. He noticed that his body was much lighter. The proportion of speed and the amount of effort he is using cannot be compared to what it was previously. His body felt amazing. While searching the mountains, our boy finds a cabin. After discovering the hideout of the cultists, Yinshin decided to return back to the inn in order to inform the others. Before he could leave, he saw something horrifying. He saw a cultist drinking a child's blood. The man was sucking the boy's blood through his neck. Our boy became extremely mad when he saw this. He watched the man sink his teeth into the child's skin. While he was drinking the boy's blood, the cultist noticed something odd. He saw someone standing in front of him. The person turns out to be our boy. The man placed the child down and grabbed his sword. He asked Yinshin for his identity. He quickly realized that our boy was from the desolate fortress because of his outfit. He smiled when he realized this. He grabbed his sword hilt and asked our boy if he is alone. Yinshin did not respond to him. The man assumed that he was correct. He called our boy a fool. He could not believe that he came alone even though he is a white robe. He asked Yinshin to blame his own bad luck. The moment he said this, our boy beheaded him at a frightening speed. The man did not even know when his head got cut off. It flew up and fell to the ground. After taking care of the man, Yinshin turned to the child on the ground. He remembered how his own family was slaughtered. He covered his sword with his energy. He decided to get rid of all the cultists. He asked the child to wait for a little while. He promised to bury him once everything is over. Immediately he said this, he took a stance. He used the radiant demon art to find the weak parts of the building. The moment he found it, he used another technique of the radiant demon art called swift sword style. His attack tore the cabin apart. The cultists inside were shocked to see what was happening. Some of them got torn apart by the strike. While the last cultist was trying to understand what was happening, Yinshin rushed to attack him. He stabbed him in the chest. He pinned the man to the ground. Yinshin reminded the cultists that their cult believes that the weak are prey to the strong. He asked him to tell him how it feels to be killed by someone stronger. He took out his sword after saying this. When he raised his head up, he saw a huge cave. The cave was hidden behind the cabin. Yinshin could feel a lot of energy coming from the cave. He realized that this was not just the hideout of the Blood Flame cultists, it was also the branch of the cult. Before he could enter the cave, he sensed something. He saw more cultists rushing to attack him. The men could not believe that he would attack their branch carelessly. One of them said that he was going to kill him for the blood he spilled. The poor bastards did not know that they were about to fight an overpowered protagonist. Yinshin noticed that the bastard who said he was going to kill him was the cultist they met when they first arrived. The cultist also recognized our boy. He promised to make him pay with his blood. The moment he heard this, Yinshin rushed to attack the men. He went into their midst. He used his sword to attack them at a speed which they could not react to. The cultists did not even know what happened to them. They all got torn apart without any resistance. Our boy watched their blood splash all over the place. Immediately, he took care of the men. A much more sinister energy was released from the cave. Someone said that he never expected a white robe to cause a ruckus in a place like this. Yinshin noticed that a man was coming out of the cave. He could tell that the cultists on the ground do not have such a dreary energy. Our boy was surprised to feel the energy the man was releasing. He could tell that this man was on a completely different level compared to those he had fought so far. This man was quite huge, and he had blood-red eyes. Yinshin had heard that when a part of a person's body returns to what it used to be, it means that the person has reached the level of being able to refine their core energy. Our boy realized that this is the strongest person that is in charge of this place. He is the branch leader. People like him are called Blood Master Swordsmen in the Blood Flame cult. The cultist took out his blade. With a creepy smile on his face, he told Yinshin that he will use his pain to strengthen his blood. Our boy became nervous when he heard this. Blood Master Swordsman is the title given to the Blood Flame cult's branch leaders, to the normal person or to their subordinates. These people are almost like death gods, and there aren't many martial masters who possess the prowess to kill them. Yinshin and the man glared at each other. Our boy covered his sword with his energy. He decided to go all out before the man gets close. Our boy realized that he was able to win in the past because he launched a barrage of attacks before his opponent could respond. He quickly took a stance. The man smiled when he saw this. He told him that the title of the Desolate Fortress has made him too arrogant. Immediately he did this. Yinshin activated the limit-releasing technique. He swung his sword at an incredible speed. The man managed to dodge the attack. He was surprised to see how fast it was. He quickly stepped back. Our boy quickly charged at him. He began to attack him fiercely when he got close to him. The cultist managed to block the attacks. However, it was too fast for him. Our boy was pushing him back. He smiled when he saw how fast Yinshin was. He told him that he is not bad. Our boy could not believe that the man said that he is not bad. He remembered the dead bodies of his family members. He remembered how he felt that day. He grit his teeth out of anger. He reminded himself that he is no longer his old self. He made his attacks much heavier. The man was surprised to feel the weight of his sword. While he was struggling to block it, Yinshin reached out to him and grabbed his hand. He held the hand that the man used to hold his sword. He used his energy to twist the man's entire arm. The cultist screamed out in pain. He became more enraged. He gathered his energy in his other hand and rushed to attack Yinshin. He called him a bastard. Before his hand could touch him, our boy used his sword to cut it off. The man screamed out in pain. While he was screaming, Yinshin decided to use the opportunity. He stabbed him in his chest. The cultist spat out some blood. Yinshin twisted his sword and messed up his inside. The man could not believe that he lost to a mere white robe. With a look of anger on his face, Boy told him that he must have only inflicted pain on others. He told him that he must have never received it before. The moment he said this, he took out his sword. The cultist fell to the ground and released some dreary energy. While breathing heavily, Yinshin looked around. He saw a large hole next to him. He put his sword away and moved close to the hole. He found the bodies of the villagers in this hole. These bodies had been drained of their blood. Yinshin felt sentimental when he looked at their faces. He prayed that they would all go to paradise. At night, we see Yinshin return to the inn. Everyone was shocked to see him. He was covered in blood and he was carrying a child on his back. The group stood up when they saw him. Our boy handed the child to Wonchong. The boy was surprised to see that the child was not dead yet. Mirio could tell that her junior fought. She asked him if he is all right. Yinshin realized that she was confused because of the blood. He assured her that he is fine. He revealed to her that the blood doesn't belong to him. He told her that he discovered the blood flame cult branch. Mirio was glad to hear that he is safe. The moment she thought of this, she realized that our boy said that he found the cultist's branch. She and the other members asked him if he is serious. Yinshin revealed to them that they were 8 red-haired cultists. The blood flame cultist that caused trouble in the county was there. He was with a strong cultist that had red and black hair. Mirio and Myung were shocked to hear this. The Zen sword demon told him that the cultist with red and black hair is a blood master swordsman. She realized that our boy truly found the branch of the cult. She could not believe that there was a branch of the blood flame cult that has planted its roots there and is feeding off the people in the county. Myung picked up his sword. He explained to them that the blood flame cult is a target of the desolate fortress that needs to be destroyed. He told his teammates that they will need to raid the branch. The elf commended Yinshin on his accomplishments. He asked him to get some rest. Mirio tapped his shoulder and told him that she will follow Myung to clean up the branch. Our boy explained to them that they do not need to go anywhere. He told them that they simply need to get the government troops to do the rest. He said that the troops need to help the victims. Mirio and Myung were surprised to hear this. Wonchong could not understand why they would need the government troops. Mirio turned around and asked Yinshin if he defeated all the cultists and the blood master swordsman. Our boy told them that he killed them all. The group could not believe what they were hearing. Myung asked him if he really destroyed a branch of the blood flame cult on his own. Yinshin told him that the mobility art he taught him really helped a lot. The seniors did not know how to react to this. The Zen sword demon revealed to him that the blood master swordsmen have strange regeneration abilities. She asked him if the fight was dangerous. Yinshin was surprised to hear about regeneration abilities. He did not experience anything like that. According to Mirio, there were some martial artists who drove them to the brink of death. However, they got stabbed in the back and died because they did not know about the blood master swordsman ability to regenerate. Yinshin picked up something and placed it on the table. The thing turns out to be the head of the blood master swordsman. Everyone was shocked to see the head. Our boy realized that things would have been bad if he did not cut off the cultist's head. With a smile on his face, Myung said that the fight is over even if the cultist has regenerative abilities. In the next scene, we are taken to the desolate fortress. We see Myung and Mirio reporting about the mission to their captain. Ma Jian never expected that a blood master swordsman would be involved in such a simple mission. He realized that the mission was not completely bad because it allowed them to see what the white robes are capable of. He asked the two to tell him how Yinshin behaved when he was faced with a life and death situation. Although she was not there, the Zen sword demon did not believe that our boy was in a life and death situation. Myung asked his captain about what he means. Ma Jin explained to them that the place must have been a branch of the Blood Flame cult if a Blood Master swordsman was there. He told them that the branch must have been a dangerous place for the white robes. He asked the two of them if they destroyed the branch in order to protect their juniors. Mirio revealed to her captain that they did not actually see anything by themselves. She explained to him that Yinshin went on a reconnaissance mission alone and annihilated the entire branch on his own. Ma Jin was shocked to hear this. With a nervous look on his face, he asked her if Yinshin went to the branch alone and killed all the Blood Flame cult members, including the Blood Master swordsman. Myung told him that he did. Ma Jin became more nervous. This result was much different from what he expected. The scene shifts and we are taken to our boy's room. We see him looking at the city from his window. Wonchong was happy to be back inside his room. He never knew that he had grown attached to the place. He turned to Yinshin and asked him if he noticed that the atmosphere was a little electric when they returned. Our boy realized that he was right. He told his friend that the people were having a festival. Wonchong told him that he is wrong. He revealed to him that the city is a little rowdy because the former Divine Sword Squad captain has returned. He said that the man has returned to fight for the position of Elder Council Leader. Yinshin was surprised to hear this. According to Wonchong, the former Divine Sword Squad captain brought a boy back with him. The boy is said to be the adopted son of the famed Desolate Ma clan. He is rumored to be extremely talented. Our boy clenched his fist out of anger when he heard this. He remembered that the Desolate Ma clan is his mother's clan. The clan never came to Xingye County before. Not even when his mother got married, even after she gave birth to him. They did not reach out once. Yinshin smiled when he thought of this. He realized that this kind of story is something a person would hear in the villages. It was as if the clan cut off all ties with their daughter who married into a household that would make them seem like they were of a lower class. The next day, we see Yinshin in his captain's office. He asked the man if he called for him. Ma Jin stared at our boy. He noticed that his energy was different. He found it amazing that his energy had changed again. He could tell that Yinshin did not annihilate an entire branch of the Blood Flame cult by luck. Our boy did not understand why his captain was just staring at him. Ma Jin stood up. He revealed to him that the fortress master wants to see the two of them. Our boy was surprised to hear that she wanted to see him. He quickly followed his captain. He asked him if there has been any instances where she would ask to meet white robe warriors after their enlistment meeting. Ma Jin told him that it has never happened before. Yinshin did not know how to react to this. When they stepped outside, we see several blue robe warriors greeting Ma Jin. The blue robes noticed that the lightning genius was with Ma Jin. They had heard about how he killed a blood master swordsman. They could not believe that such a young boy would be so skilled. As they walked forward, Ma Jin told Yinshin that it is natural for others to be paying attention to him. He explained to him that he is now considered a martial master in the desolate fortress because he is able to destroy a blood flame cult branch by himself. Our boy accepted his captain's explanation. Although the blue robes were impressed with his achievement, Yinshin did not think much of it. His concept of time was much different from theirs. He does not have the luxury of time. If he wants to live, he must become as strong as a divine sword captain before he turns 20. He needs to advance from white to blue and surpass black robes like his captain to become someone capable of leading 17 squads like the Radiant Demon Squad as a purple robe divine squad sword captain. The scene shifts and we see Yinshin and Ma Jin arrive at the door of the fortress master. Before his captain knocked on the door, our boy hears the fortress master tell someone that she heard he has a grandchild. The person said that the blood of a lowly place cannot flow far. Ma Jin knocked the door when he heard this. The person said that he will be glad if his grandchild doesn't bring shame to the Ma clan. Yinshin was surprised to hear this. The person said that the child next to him is his successor. Although the boy was not from the main family, he was still exceptionally talented. Immediately the man said this. Yinshin and his captain stepped in. They saw the fortress master, an old man and a young boy. Yinshin noticed that the fortress master was staring at him. Ma Jin put his hand together. Our boy was surprised to see this. He remembered that he was supposed to greet the fortress master. He quickly joined his captain in greeting the fortress master. Our boy realized that this man was the former Divine Sword Squad captain. He is a purple-robe martial master that is stronger than Ma Jin. The old man turned to him and asked him if he is the lightning genius from the Radiant Demon Squad. He introduced himself as Ma Yanjiak. He said that he used to lead the Divine Sword Squad. He explained to our boy that he told the fortress master that his grandson wants to see a martial master that is his peer. Yanjiak told our boy that it is nice to meet him. Upon hearing this, Yinshin realized that this man doesn't know who he is. He carefully looked at the fortress master. Yanjiak told Yinshin that he heard about him recently. He noticed the energy which he was exuding. He told our boy that the rumors don't do him any justice. He did not expect Yinshin to be so accomplished. He found it hard to believe that he had attained so much at such a young age. Our boy put his hands together and greeted his grandfather. He introduced himself as young Yinshin of the Radiant Demon Squad. Yanjiak was surprised to hear our boy call him grandfather. Ma Jin and the young man were also surprised. The fortress master actually smiled. She seemed to be enjoying the show. Yanjiak asked him about what he is talking about. The moment he said this, he realized that our boy said that his surname is Young. He could not believe that he was looking at his grandson. He wanted to ask him again to confirm. Yinshin simply greeted him again. Ma Jin was more shocked than anyone. He asked our boy if he is truly his sister's son. Yinshin did not know what he was talking about. He could not believe that his captain is his mother's brother and his uncle. He apologized to Ma Jin for not greeting him as his nephew. He explained to him that he is not very sure about the clan relations on his mother's side. He revealed to him that even the people in his father's clan which has been destroyed have pretty much given up on him. Ma Jin and Yanjiak were shocked to hear that the young manor has been destroyed. Yanjiak asked him if he is certain about what he is saying. Due to their reactions, Yinshin could tell that they did not know that the young manor has fallen. Yanjiak turned to the fortress master. He asked her if he can speak to his grandson alone. Yinshin was surprised to hear this. Before the fortress master could respond, our boy stepped forward. He told his grandfather that his mother is not a member of their clan. He told him that he does not belong with them. He explained to him that he respects his accomplishments as a warrior of the desolate fortress. He told him that he is uncomfortable with having any other personal conversations. Yanjiak was surprised to hear this. With a smile on her face, the fortress master told the lightning genius that she likes his spirit. The young man said that he will not acknowledge Yinshin. He did not want to acknowledge someone like our boy as a direct descendant of his grandfather. He turned to Yanjiak and told him that Yinshin is not supposed to show such disrespect to the former Divine Sword Squad captain. The old man did not seem to be listening to him. He was still surprised that he was looking at his biological grandson. Yinshin realized that this idiot has forgotten that he is in the presence of the fortress master. He told him that he does not need his acknowledgement. He tapped his emblem and told him that he is not from the Ma clan. He said that he is the lightning genius of the Radiant Demon Squad. Our boy smiled when he said this. The idiot was annoyed to hear what he said. He turned to Yanjiak and asked him to allow him to have a duel with Yinshin. He said that he will prove that our boy is not worthy of being his blood relative. With a cold gaze in his eyes, Yinshin told him that he has no reason to agree to a duel. He explained to him that if he requests a duel for learning, he will accede to it. He said that he has no need to prove his value to their clan. The idiot was annoyed to hear this. Yinshin noticed that the idiot has 2 gauntlets tied to his clothes. He realized that the boy learnt the fist strikes of the Ma clan. The fortress master asked them to stop talking. She said that Yanjiak is an old-time friend who journeyed with her for a long time and Yinshin is a promising subordinate. She told them that any conflict between the two of them will put her in a tough spot. She asked them to settle the issue like martial artists. She asked them to bet what they want from each other. The fortress master knew that the duel was of no benefit to the lightning genius. She promised to grant him a request no matter the outcome of the duel. Our boy was surprised to hear this. He asked her if she will even grant him the item he wants. She told him that it is not possible for now. She explained to him that even his grandfather cannot get the item because he has already received a different reward for his contribution as the Divine Sword Squad captain. She revealed to Yinshin that she can actually teach him one of her vital energy techniques. Everyone was shocked to hear this. They could not believe that our boy has the chance to learn martial arts from someone known as the strongest in the world. The young man was also happy to hear this. He also wanted to learn the martial arts of the fortress master. Yinshin realized that this boy was going to learn martial arts from the fortress master instead of following Yeonjiak's will if he wins. He could not believe that his mother's clan would take in this selfish person as a successor. He decided to accept the duel. The scene shifts and we see everyone at a training ground. The fortress master told the boys that they have the whole place to themselves. She asked them to do whatever they want. Yinshin noticed that the boy wore his gauntlets. He smiled as he cracked his knuckles. Our boy ignored him and turned to the side. He saw his grandfather and his uncle. He told himself that the Radiant Demon Squad is good enough for him right now. He said that he does not need the Ma clan. He took a stance and stretched out his hand. He asked the boy to bring it on. The boy was annoyed to hear this. He called Yinshin a bastard. He quickly rushed to attack him. Our boy managed to block his attack by gently moving his hand. The boy's punch created a lot of pressure when he passed him. He turned around and smiled at Yinshin. Due to the fact that the boy had more energy than him, our boy was able to deduce that he has consumed a lot of elixir. With a smile on his face, the boy clenched his fist and gathered his energy. Yinshin quickly activated the limit-releasing technique. The young man began to attack him more aggressively. Yinshin easily dodged the attacks with one hand at his back. The boy became annoyed. He gathered his energy and attacked again. He asked our boy to tell him why he is not using his sword. Yinshin pushed his hand away. He told him that he is not using his sword because his fist strike techniques are good. The boy became more angry when he heard this. He gathered his energy in his legs. He managed to crush the ground with his energy. He charged at our boy with his hand covered with his energy. Yinshin was not surprised to see the boy close to him. He used his hand to block the attack. The attack only pushed him back slightly. He gently landed on the ground. The young man was shocked to see that his attack did not connect. Yeonjiak was also shocked to see how skilled his grandson was. Ma Jin was not surprised at all. The fortress master smiled when she saw how the fight was going. Yinshin smiled when he landed. He told the boy that he has thought of a strong fist strike technique. He took a stance and said that the fight will come to an end by the count of 10. The boy was annoyed to hear this. Yeonjiak understood that his grandson was talented, but he did not expect him to try to end the fight in 10 moves. Ma Jin explained to his father that he has misunderstood our boy. He told him that Yinshin means that he will create a new martial arts in 10 seconds. Yinshin noticed something odd about the boy. He gathered more energy. He told him that he will do his best in those 10 moves. The boy took a different stance. He said that the technique is known as the fusion fist strike. Yinshin was relieved to see this. Instead of getting riled up by what he said, the boy actually calmed himself. From the waves of the core energy he was feeling, our boy could tell that his grandfather, who is respected by the world, did not teach the young man in a slidshod manner. Yinshin asked the boy to use whatever strike he wants. He told him that he is also allowed to use a palm strike if he wishes. He asked him to simply do his best. He told him that he will be able to show him plenty things regardless of the strike he uses. The boy became angrier. He charged at Yinshin. The moment our boy saw his fist coming closer, he clenched his own fist. He and the boy attacked each other with their fists. Yinshin used a technique known as the energy accumulation discharge. His fist pushed the boy back. The young man was shocked to feel Yinshin's strength. Our boy did not stop. He charged at the boy. Ma Jin noticed something odd about Yinshin. He noticed that our boy accumulated more energy after the first attack. He was expected to have lost a little since he discharged his energy. When Yinshin got close to the boy, he attacked him with his hand, which was covered in his energy. The attack was known as the accumulated energy second strike. The young man put his hand together to block the attack. Unfortunately for him, Yinshin's fist broke through his defense. Ma Jin realized that our boy got an inspiration for this attack from the fusion fist strike. The young man could not believe that he was pushed back. He could not believe that Yinshin was actually getting stronger. He grit his teeth out of anger. He turned to his master to see the look on his face. Yeonjiak was not impressed or disappointed. The young man gathered more energy in his fist. Yinshin told him that he is doing well. He asked him to show him more. He told him that he can do anything he wants. The boy was annoyed to see that our boy was treating the duel as a lesson. He told him that he is too arrogant. He charged at him with a palm technique that was quite fast. Yinshin used the accumulated energy third strike. The attack pushed the boy's palm away. Before he could fall to the ground, Yinshin grabbed his clothes. The boy was shocked to see this. Our boy gathered his energy in his palm. He found palm strikes to be interesting. The young man could not believe that Yinshin was about to use a palm strike. Our boy pulled him closer and used the accumulated energy fourth strike. The attack sent the young man flying. Ma Jin and his father were surprised to see that our boy used a palm strike. The fortress master gently smiled. The boy fell to his knees and touched his chest. He coughed out in pain. Yinshin simply glared at him with a cold gaze in his eyes. The young man became scared when he understood how powerful our boy is. Ma Jin and Yanjiak realized that our boy created a fist art that gets stronger the longer the fight lasts. They could not believe that Yinshin actually created a martial art like this in such a short time. Our boy gently circulated his energy around his body. He looked at his hands. He did not expect to create a martial art that can be called a famed ultimate technique. The fortress master told him that the fight was really good. She did not think that she would witness someone creating a martial art. Yinshin said that he is embarrassed. He asked her if he did not waste her time. The fortress master told him that he is being too humble. She asked him if he has decided on a name for his new technique. Yinshin revealed to her that the new martial art will be called the Infinite Blossom Fist Strike. The fortress master smiled when she heard the name. She realized that our boy was trying to say that the martial arts is a fist strike that blooms endlessly. She told him that it is a perfect name. Ma Jin congratulated his subordinate on his achievement. He told him that he created an incredible martial art. Yinshin looked at his hands and said that he only managed to work out the framework. He said that he is still not satisfied with the moves in it. He revealed to his captain that when he uses palm strikes, he is completely relying on the radiant demon arts. Ma Jin smiled when he heard this. He assured Yinshin that there won't be many white robes who can handle his new technique. He told him that he always tries to not be surprised. However, he is always shocked when it comes to him because he is growing stronger at such a rapid pace. Yinshin was aware of the time he had left to live. He told his captain that he is not growing at the best pace. Yanjiak moved closer to our boy. He asked him to tell him what he needs to do to gain his forgiveness. Ma Jin and the adopted grandson were shocked to hear this. Purple-robe martial masters of the desolate fortress are extremely powerful. They are said to be gods who can take away the life of anyone their energy can detect. Yinshin could not believe that someone this powerful was lowering himself to him. He glared at his grandfather. He told him that he is uncomfortable with what he said. He explained to Yanjiak that they cannot turn back time. He said that members of his mother's clan are no different from strangers to him. He told him that he is now part of the Radiant Demon Squad family. Yanjiak told his grandson that they can start building a relationship now. Our boy told him that he does not have enough time to build up his martial art. The old man was surprised to hear his grandson's excuse. Yinshin explained to him that he won against his adopted grandson in the duel that he requested on impulse. He asked Yanjiak to respect this as a martial artist. The fortress master interrupted them. She told Yanjiak that it is time to give Yinshin his reward since he won. She told our boy that she will teach him a martial arts of his choice anytime he is ready. She told him that he is allowed to make one request from the Ma clan. Yinshin told the fortress master that he will inform the Ma clan about his request through his captain. Ma Jin was shocked to hear this. He could not believe our boy wanted to use him as a messenger. On their way back to the office, Ma Jin called out to Yinshin. He revealed to him that he has a mission that will be of help to him. Yinshin wondered about what his captain was talking about. The scene shifts and we are taken to Xian. We see several people walking on the street. Ma Jin and his squad members were also on the street. Oddly enough, they all wore normal clothes instead of their uniform. Wencheng, Miyang, and Mirio were the ones in the team. While walking with his teammates, Yinshin thinks about what his captain told him. The scene shifts and we are taken to the past. Ma Jin mentioned something about the plum blossom pill. According to him, the pill is an elixir of the Manhwa sect that's considered a treasure in the Murim. The Manhwa sect has lost this pill, so numerous sects and martial artists have started looking for this pill. Yinshin asked his captain if they are all scrambling for the elixir. Ma Jin said that they are. He revealed to our boy that they will be accompanying the Manhwa sect to search for the elixir. He said that they actually have an important reason for searching for the elixir with them. He told Yinshin that they are doing it to reduce the number of casualties during the search. Our boy realized that he will be able to use his sword and experience a real fight in this big conflict. Ma Jin told him that he is correct. He assured him that the mission is going to be helpful to him. He explained to our boy that it will be a good opportunity for him to face off against all sorts of famed martial artists. He told him that the amount of things he would learn and grow by fighting will be incomparable to when he trains alone. The scene shifts and we are taken back to the present. Wencheng said that he feels bad. He could not believe that they can't wear their uniform because they cannot reveal that the desolate fortress is helping the Manhwa sect. Ma Jin smiled when he saw the look on the man's face. When they arrived at the entrance of the building, a man and his group stepped out. The men seemed to be leaving. The man seemed to recognize Ma Jin. He realized that this were the martial masters from the desolate fortress. He told them that they have been waiting for them. Wenchang and Yianshin noticed the plum blossom emblem on the man's clothes. They realized that they were looking at the Mount Hua sect members. The man greeted Ma Jin. The captain put his hand together and greeted the man known as Sage Cheonju. Yianshin had heard of this man. Sage Cheonju is the leader of the Plum Blossom Swordsmen and one of the top martial masters. In order to match his status, a black robe like Ma Jin had to be involved in the mission. Just by looking at him, Yianshin was getting the same feeling he had when he first met his captain. Cheonju greeted the Zen Sword Demon. He referred to Myung as the Azure Demonic Swordsman. He told Ma Jin that he already knows who they are. He said that there is no need for introduction since they already fought together before. Yianshin was surprised to hear that Myung is known as the Demonic Swordsman. While he was looking at his senior, he saw a member of the Plum Blossom Swordsmen yawning. He looked like he was bored. Cheonju walked up to Yianshin and took a look at him. He said that he now understands the kind of mindset the desolate fortress has towards this issue. He told Ma Jin that he never expected him to bring his disciple. Yianshin realized that the man assumed he was Ma Jin's disciple because he was not wearing his uniform. Before Ma Jin could explain, Cheonju raised his sword and interrupted him. He told him that our boy is extraordinary. He asked Ma Jin if he is open to a friendly duel with the disciple of their sect leader. He assured him that it will be fun. The captain smiled when he heard this. He knew that Cheonju was trying to show them that the Mount Hua sect is above them. Since they will be traveling as a party, it would be awkward for the key members to fight each other. This is why they want to use the future generations of their respective groups to determine the hierarchy. Ma Jin turned to Yianshin to see if he will accept the duel. Our boy simply shrugged his shoulders. He was basically telling his captain to do whatever he wants. Ma Jin smiled when he saw this. The Plum Blossom Swordsman, who seemed bored, told his teammates that they are making him do extra work. He said that he will only need 5 moves to win. Cheonju was annoyed to see how arrogant he was. He told him that he will be able to learn something here. He advised him to do his best. The young man smiled when he heard this. He said that he does not know what he can learn here. He had heard that the Radiant Demon Arts is based on senses. Yianshin stepped out to represent his group. He wondered about how deep the martial arts of the Mount Hua sect will be. He reminded the boy that he said that he will only need 5 moves. The young man smiled when he heard this. He asked Yianshin if this sentence offended him. He apologized to him. He told him that he was not trying to underestimate him. He said that he had a really tough training today, so he unknowingly voiced out what he was thinking. He introduced himself as Yu Hyun. Wenchang was surprised to hear his name. He could not believe that he was looking at the Mount Hua sect sword dragon. He heard that Hyun was the best disciple of the sect leader. Mirio revealed to him that Hyun is known as the future of the Mount Hua sect. There are rumors saying that he has already started learning the Violet Dawn sacred art. Wenchang could not believe that Yianshin was supposed to win someone this powerful. Our boy dropped his bag on the ground. He carefully moved his wrist. With a smile on his face, he introduced himself as young Yianshin. Hyun smiled at Yianshin. He activated a technique known as Invisible Wind Stride and charged at Yianshin. He attacked him with a palm technique. The technique contained a variety of moves. Our boy realized that this was the Falling Blossom Palm Strike. Hyun attacked him with a confident smile on his face. Yianshin activated the first strike of the Infinite Blossom Fist. The technique is known as Vortex. He was able to disrupt Hyun's flow with his technique. Hyun had to bend his head to dodge the attack. He was shocked to see what just happened. He wondered about what created this force. Yianshin quickly charged at the boy. When he got close to him, he covered his leg with his energy. He hit the ground with a lot of strength. He attacked Hyun with his second strike. The technique is known as the Formidable Wall. The boy had issues deflecting Yianshin's attack with the Falling Blossom Palm Strike. Our boy realized that the Falling Blossom Palm Strike of the Mount Hua sect is sufficient enough to become the inspiration for the third strike of the Infinite Blossom Fist Strike. He asked Hyun to play a little longer with him. He told him that he wants to end the fight in 10 moves. Hyun was annoyed to hear this. Our boy took another step forward. He clenched his fist and gave Hyun a punch that sent him flying. Yianshin did not give the boy the time to rest. He closed the gap between himself and Hyun. He gathered a large amount of energy in his fist. His energy looked like a flower that was about to blossom. He landed multiple punches all over Hyun's body. The boy screamed out in pain. He fell to the ground and rolled over. The members of the Manhwa sect were shocked to see what happened. Yinshin took a look at his fist. He realized that he can use the last attack as his third strike. He decided to name the third strike the Flower Strike. Yinshin noticed that everywhere was quiet. When he looked up, he saw everyone staring at him. They were all shocked by what they just witnessed. They could not believe that the talented disciple of the Manhwa sect lost after 3 moves. They wondered about who our boy was. Cheonju was annoyed to hear what they were saying. He ordered one of his sect members to get Hyun. A huge man stepped out and carried the boy on his shoulder. Cheonju turned to Ma Jin. He told him that the desolate fortress has been raising a dragon. He asked him if the desolate fortress still wants to gain more control of the Murim. The captain said that he is overreacting. He told him that the desolate fortress won't do anything as long as no harm comes to the people of the country. Cheonju asked him to stop using excuses that make sense. He turned to our boy and called out to him. He told him that he had a good martial arts performance. Although Yinshin's last attack was similar to the Falling Blossom Palm Strike, Cheonju could tell that it was completely different. He knew that there was no way Yinshin had learned any martial arts of his sect. He told our boy that he never expected that there would be a martial arts similar to theirs. He said that the duel will provide enough motivation for their sect leader's disciple who has gotten lazy in his training. He told Yinshin that the Manhwa sect will welcome him as a guest if something causes him to leave the desolate fortress. Ma Jin and the rest of his group were shocked to hear this. Ma Jin turned to the sage. He told him that he has crossed the line. Cheonju raised his hand to show that he understands. He admitted that he got ahead of himself due to his greed. He apologized to Ma Jin. He told him that he couldn't help himself because there is a brilliant talent in front of him. Someone called out to Yinshin through telepathy. Our boy was surprised to hear a voice in his head. The person turned out to be Mirio. The Zen Sword Demon told him that he looks like he is having trouble standing. Yinshin smiled when he heard this. He revealed to her that he used up all his core energy in his last attack. The Infinite Blossom Fist Strike uses burst discharge in all its stances. This is why it consumes a large amount of inner energy. Our boy realized that he still needs to use a sword when fighting for real. The scene shifts and we are taken to an inn. After Yinshin explained the situation to his seniors, Myung told him that he needs to open up his center energy core quickly. Our boy was surprised to hear this. Myung explained to him that he needs to make up for his lack of inner energy with stamina. Yinshin asked him about how this was related to his center energy core. Mirio realized that he did not know that this was the function of the center energy core. According to the Zen Sword Demon, the center energy core possesses an efficacy that even the upper Dantian, which is said to house the divine in the mind, cannot bestow. She told Yinshin that it will give him a more robust inner energy. Our boy found this weird. Mirio explained to him that it simply means that there is higher efficacy. She asked him if he has heard of martial masters who don't get tired even after fighting for 7 days and nights. Yinshin told her that he has. Mirio explained to him that the masters are able to do this because they train their center energy core. It stabilizes the core energy and allows them to use energy-draining skills multiple times. Even if they are hit by a powerful attack, their energy flow will not get disrupted most of the time. She revealed to Yinshin that Myung was able to fight against the Namgung's strongest swordsman because of his center energy core. Yinshin asked the Zen Sword Demon to tell him how he can open up his center energy core. The woman told him that it will naturally open as he trains his lower energy core over a period of time. She advised him to circulate energy revolving around his upper body. Yinshin referred to her as senior and asked her if there is a faster way of getting the center energy core. Mirio was shocked to hear this. She gently smiled. She could not believe that our boy called her his senior. Yinshin did not understand why she was smiling. In the next scene, we are taken to a restaurant. We see everyone turn to Mirio when she screamed the name of the battle maniac. Even Wenchang wondered why she was overreacting. Ma Jin told his squad that the battle maniac is the culprit of this incident. He is a notorious thief based north of the Yangtze River. Ma Jin said that the battle maniac was also the one who stole his martial arts manual. He said that this case actually worked out great for him. Wenchang asked the Zen Sword Demon if a thief stole their martial arts manual. With a serious look on her face, Mirio said that they had a situation in the past. Ma Jin announced to his squad that they will start destroying all the unorthodox factions signboard within Shangxi with any connections to the battle maniac. Wenchang asked his captain about what the Manhwa sect will be doing while they are doing this. Ma Jin explained to him that while they draw the attention of the unorthodox factions, the Manhwa sect will secretly infiltrate them and check out their location. Wenchang was surprised to hear the plan. Yinshin asked his captain if they have any justification to destroy the signboards of the unorthodox factions. Myung smiled when he heard this. He realized that his junior did not know much about unorthodox martial artists. He explained to him that the Empire does not recognize the existence of the unorthodox factions. These factions even dare to collect taxes in the Empire's territory. The Empire determines whether a group is orthodox or unorthodox through a very simple method. They base it on whether the people offer money to the factions willingly or if their money is getting stolen with a blade pointed to their face. Ma Jin said that the unorthodox factions are vermin who leech off the country. The only reason they are left alone is because a new group of them will appear even if they destroy the current group. The captain told Yinshin that there is no need for justification when attacking people like them. Our boy asked him about the amount of factions they are going to attack. Ma Jin said that they will start with 6. He told them that he will take 2 factions. Yinshin said that he will also go by himself. Ma Jin asked him if he is trying to claim all the credits for himself. He told him that it is too dangerous. Our boy assured his captain that he will be able to take care of it. Ma Jin explained to him that it is a different matter altogether for him to take on an entire organization. While fighting against a group, there are way too many variables to consider. It can't even be compared to a one-on-one fight. Yinshin told his captain that he will need to experience these things by himself. Ma Jin knew that our boy was right. He told him that he will assign him a mission in the town. He revealed to him that his target will be the Mantis sect that is in a part of Xian known as Lianhu. He told him that the group is quite atrocious. They won't hesitate even when kidnapping women and children. Ma Jin told our boy that his mission is to destroy the sect alone. In the next scene, we see Yinshin walking in the forest. There was a man walking behind him. The man was guiding him to Lianhu. The man told Yinshin that he never expected him to be going alone. He asked our boy to reconsider his decision. He said that the Mantis sect is not to be trifled with. According to the man, the sect has more than 10 men who are well-versed in martial arts. It is said that even a single lower-rank member is enough to defeat a whole alley in Lianhu. Yinshin asked the man to tell him more about the sect. The man revealed to him that the sect took over the streets of Lianhu 3 years ago. They dragged at least a dozen women away to serve them as maids. They are very vicious. They were able to skillfully manipulate the local magistrate. Yinshin asked the man if there is anyone who has seen the sect members use martial arts. The man told him that he heard they use all sorts of weapons. He said that he saw the sect members a few times from afar. They had a few weird curved swords and normal swords. He said that the sect members were so fast that it was hard for people to see everything they were doing. They were able to cut off 2 heads with a single slash. Yinshin realized that these people have learned some martial arts, even though they don't have a developed dantian. He turned around and asked the man about what the government is doing if so many people have been captured. The man revealed to him that the local magistrate makes sure the Mantis sect don't run into any problems since they are in cahoots. When Yinshin arrived at the county, he saw some people gathered somewhere. When he looked in front of them, he saw some young girls tied up. The young girls were being harassed by some men with swords. Yinshin was annoyed to see this. He said that he now understands why the desolate fortress had to come. The men turned to the side when they heard his voice. Our boy stepped out and asked the men if they are government troops. He asked them if these girls are criminals that they tied up. A bald man holding a dagger threw it at Yinshin's head. Our boy caught the dagger. He activated the swift sword style of the radiant demon art. He threw the dagger back at the man. It stabbed him in his head. The man's friends were surprised to see this. They believed that Yinshin was some child who knew martial arts. One of them asked him about where he learned from. He told Yinshin that the way he threw the dagger was weird. He asked him if he learned how to throw it properly. A man in green clothes stepped out. He said that Yinshin was really fast. He asked him for the name of the martial arts he just used. Our boy drew his sword. He told the man that there is no need for him to name such a trivial trick. The man was happy to see Yinshin's sword. He believed that he would get a reward from their sect leader if he was to present the sword to him. The moment he thought of this, Yinshin used his sword to split his head apart. The man's teammates were shocked to see this. Our boy charged at them. He tore all of them apart before they could even draw their swords. Everyone, including the man who brought him there, was shocked to see how he easily took care of them. The men on the other side quickly ran to the girls. They thanked Yinshin for saving the girls. The man who brought our boy was still quite shocked by what he witnessed. Yinshin turned to him and asked him about where the Mantis sect is. The man quickly pointed to a building. Our boy walked towards the building. When he arrived at the gates, he saw the signboard of the Mantis sect. He kicked the gates open with a lot of force. The men in the building were surprised to see a young boy barge into the building. Guys, we have come to the end of our video. If you guys want more of this recap, let me know in the comments section. Don't forget to like and smash that subscribe button for more recaps. See you guys later.